number 251. It's debate night, and Voice is a cunt. Oh, wait, he's here. Hi, Voice. How are you doing tonight? I'm going to be like Archer and knock you the fuck out, you Zin little bitch. What's going on? Let's talk some Star Trek.
I'm sorry, Mel, but who?
Well, Voice, that was a reference to an
like
animated American series. Hey, now, gentlemen. Hey, back into your corners. I've been conscripted to ref this discussion here. So without further ado, will you gentlemen introduce yourselves and the side you are supporting?
You should have actually picked more names, you know.
Go ahead. Yeah, well, no, go ahead, Voice. You're the foreigner. Have at it.
Ooh, right. It's going to be like that. Yes, I'm the voice of one. I'm a nerd. I have a nerd channel, so go check it out. I'm sure Mad, if he's sober, will put the link in the description at some point in time. And we're here because up until STD arrived, Enterprise was the worst of all Star Treks.
Well, thank you very much there, MD.
All right. First off, Enterprise is not the worst of all Star Trek. If you want to see the worst, I could point you to a few season 1 episodes of TNG, also a few original series episodes that weren't so tasteful. Second, okay, Enterprise was pretty good. It had, first off, out of Star Trek, it was the only one to really have a cohesive story arc all the way through from season 1 to season 4, which they shouldn't have ended in season 4. If you want to nail me on the last episode of Enterprise, go for it. It's shit. I agree. But the thing is, if you look at season 3 and 4 on a whole, they are fucking good. You have Soong. You get to see the guy who created Data actually genetically modify humans and go through a little mini. It's almost like a mini.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but you're flying off to season 4 before we've even started talking about the show.
I was doing a synopsis as my freaking opening, but go ahead. I'm done. Fucking give him the time, memes.
No, let's start at the beginning, all right? First of all, this is meant to be, well, let's talk about the theme tune. Yes.
Oh, you're going to nail me on the goddamn 80s fucking hairband music? Is that really what you're going to go for? Because that is low-hanging fruit, sir.
No. Let him finish. You ceded the time.
Mad, I have like 5 pages of stuff I'm going to nail you on, so, you know, calm down. But yeah, I mean, with all the other Star Trek series, and again, when I say Star Trek series to everyone watching, we're not counting STD. That doesn't exist in our universe or the Kelvin timeline. But anyway, you know, every other Star Trek TV show had this great, inspiring, you know, ship flying through space past all these great things. Or with DS9, you know, we had the wormhole, you know, opening and closing. It really got you. And then in Star Trek Enterprise, you had basically an advert for Apple. You know, it never really got into you.
It's a long road getting from here to there. If you actually listen to the fucking lyrics, it actually does make sense for the show. It is a prequel, sir. It is setting the stage for everything to come after. They are actually a military at this point in Federation history, and that's why you have the Makos, which is pretty much the Marines stationed aboard the ship in later seasons.
Yes, but that has nothing to do with the opening credits, the theme tune. It shouldn't have any
words. Do
words.
you hear the lyrics to the song?
It's been a hard lyrics, Mod.
From here to
there. No, gentlemen, here's the thing. All right. Are we talking about the opening credits?
Yes, we're going to start at the start.
Oh, okay. Now, and are we arguing this as a series on a whole, or are we doing this like season by season? Are we going to do the comparisons on what is actually present, the high points, the driving factors, and why this is the best season? Is that how we're doing it?
Well, we're going to do it that way, but it's not about the... Well, we could go best season as well, but also overall.
Well, that's the thing. It will all tie together, so we can do a bout by bout then a total score, and then how it all kind of just loops around together. Because I mean, what is it? It's supposed to be like a better story.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, well, no, and the thing is, though, yeah, okay, not everybody likes the goddamn 80s hairband fucking intro, all right? And it was a shock to Trek, Star Trek fans. I get that. But if you actually listen to the lyrics, it actually kind of fits, and it's okay. It's not a bad tune either. Whatever. I usually skip through it on Netflix, to be honest, but it is what it is. If that's the worst thing you got, then I don't know, man. I think you're.
You can't argue the fact, however, MADDODGE, that it does lack the grandeur of the other openings. Period. The other openings are opening vistas. That's
yeah, but isn't it supposed to?
May I just simply point out a slight correlation, which does not necessarily equal causation, but Mad seems to kind of like the music. Voice isn't a fan. MC isn't a fan. Demographically, if you look at just age as in a number, I think you'll find that.
I think the song is fine. I have no problem with the song at all, really. But the thing is that it does lack in comparison to the other Star Trek series. It does lack the beginning grandeur as to an opening vista.
Does it have space? The final frontier.
No.
Oh, well, I can see how that could be problematic.
Point to voice.
I don't know. I will concede that point because I'm not going to dwell on the goddamn opening credits. Go ahead and continue, voice.
Okay, so this is meant to be a series, and now I'm of the thing that of the 4 series, season 1 was the best, but this series was meant to be about the beginning of Starfleet, the beginning of the Federation. This was the first ship we have, built to go out there and start exploring. And yet in the first 2 episodes, we're already in the middle of a Klingon potential civil war. Yes, this is our first time out of space, and just straight into this the whole Klingon civil war arc. I mean, really.
Can I stop you right there?
Dangerous place.
Yeah, first off, yes, memes. Space is a dangerous place, and here's the thing: if you look at the timeline of Starfleet, especially in the Starfleet Encyclopedia, stuff like that, the stuff us nerds really get into. Matter of fact, right here next to my desk, I got a copy of Star Trek: Tales of the Dominion War, sitting right here.
Are you sure that's not the Confederate Constitution?
Is that
I do have a Confederate Constitution on my bookshelf as well, sir.
Hold on, no. MD is that canon?
Yes and no.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? Are we going to dwell on DS9 stuff? Because then I'll really win this argument. I'm not bringing up Enterprise books, which I do own an Enterprise book. But
I have no idea what any of these things are. I'm just asking, are they canon?
Tales of the Dominion War kind of is canon because in DS9 they talk about the fall of Beta Z. In Tales from the Dominion War, they are actually on Beta Z.
It's looking at it within the existing lore, and that's an additional book explaining the actual point.
Yeah, which I actually thought about doing a read-through maybe as a series of videos. But anyway, moving on. The thing is, when you're talking about Enterprise and the timeline of the Federation, they did go through a war with the Klingons around here. And you're acting like they don't know who's around them. That's bullshit. They've been working with the fucking Vulcans for what, 75, 100 years, 150 years by now? The Vulcans are holding back their advances. Why? Because they want to keep
the emotional Federation. What do you mean 150 years? What the hell are you talking about?
Let voice jump in here. You want
Cochrane had already died at this point, and Cochrane lived to be about 90 something. And then they had created Warp 2. They were working on the Warp 3 engine with Archer's dad. You're looking at about 3-4 generations. It's about 150 years.
No. You're missing the point, Mod. If I'm starting off a show that's about the first space exploration, I'm not going to go straight into internal matters of an alien race. I'm going to do something like having a big send-off for the first ship, you know, seeing it fly past, you know, the moon base, visiting Mars to pick up the last few pieces of material or supplies they'll need, you know, and going out into the greater galaxy. But no, we're straight now. Let's just jump into Klingons. Do you not see how they went too far too fast?
So your gripe is there was no real like intro or build up or something there. Like, were they if their job was to explore, was that mission to explore or to do diplomatic affairs?
Well, no, it's not about being diplomatic. It's not about that. It's meant to be about exploring, and the first thing they went is straight into the middle of a Klingon potential civil war. They didn't explore anything.
Yeah, what was the first thing the American colonists met, really, was Indian Civil War, where they had to pick a side.
Yes,
I mean,
the Indians were there on our planet. They weren't
they were indigenous people. If you come across an indigenous people and you're not from around those parts, if you act aggressive, well, you may be aggressed.
Well, no, and shit happens, boys. Shit rolls downhill. And what do you want? You wanted a whole first season of them being sent off. Oh yeah, let's go around the moon. This is Star Trek. I mean, come on, man.
No,
they're writing
but the first couple of episodes should have built into it. You know, you don't. You know, it's like this. It's like buying a video game, and instead of playing your way through the levels, you fight the big boss first, and then it's over. You know,
you want to bring up video games, look at Skyrim. You could spend about 2 hours, play through the entire main storyline within 2 hours, kill the boss dragon, and then just have side storylines for the rest of the game.
I'm sorry, you can't do that unless you're doing it with glitches through a fast play. I'm sorry. No.
No, dude. Now I've replayed Skyrim so much it takes me about 2 hours if I start a new game.
No. To get to the initial dragon, but no, you're not complete the entire game. There's a whole lot more there, but you can defeat Adarwan or whatever it is, where you can mod into Macho Man Randy Savage and blow fire. Ooh yeah! But in the game, dude, once you get your Daedric set, like, the game's too easy. I'm sorry. Continue on to the kind of point.
But do you not see the point I'm trying to make, Maud?
I see the point you're trying to make, but I'm telling you, they were writing a TV show, and one, they were stuck on the wrong network. I don't even remember what network they came out on originally. I think it was CW. But I didn't even see it until the show had ended. About 3 years after it ended, it was on at 11 o'clock at night on Fox. And that's when I first saw it, and I fucking liked the show. But nobody heard about it when it came out. That's why it failed, not because it sucked.
No, it failed because no one watched it, which is why I got canceled in the first place.
Because it was on some shitty network in the middle of fucking the boonies of cable.
I hear MC getting annoyed. I think he might need to rant a bit.
About what? I'll just let this go on. I'll let them argue.
Okay.
I understand. I will say this. Voice isn't wrong, but he's not right either. All right. It was a writer's choice. It wasn't the best of choices. He's correct about that. They did need to create, but it goes back to a different direction when they hadn't established what they wanted to do. Instead of going with the attitude, the generic attitude of exploration that Starfleet was supposed to have, and it's a direction you expected, since it's the beginning with Enterprise. That's not what they did, though. All right, they were trying to tell little background stories, and they kind of got lost in the first two with those background stories instead of going out and doing the exploration thing. He's right about that. But that's just the beginning starts of writing. I mean, that happens from time to time. I don't think you can knock the entire series just because the initial part of the setup wasn't what you expected it to be.
No, I'm not knocking the whole series for this. I'm just saying it was one aspect of the first season that I didn't like. We're going to get through it all at some point in time, but each little bit at a time.
Okay, well then compare that to Voyager's first season. In fact, compare that to Voyager's first episode.
Oh God, that was a shit show.
How was it a shit show?
We're going to sit up there and bring in the fantasy alien that teleports them all the way across the galaxy to a different quadrant, right?
Well, their heart. Well, Q wasn't available at that time, so they had to get
And then
someone.
we're going to have them encounter aliens that only live 9 years, but of course are adults already with all the memories of being an adult.
Well, that's a way to just jump into things, one could say.
Yes.
It's lazy writing. If you compare that kind of style of writing to Enterprise, I'm sorry, it's not a comparison. At least these guys were at least trying to do good writing. The other guys were just going, well, let's just plop, plop, plop. Oh, look, we're in magic.
I'm sorry, no, no, MC, no, you're completely fucking wrong there.
It's freaking fantasy land.
Yes.
Isn't it a science fiction?
Well, it's like this. MC's getting on this point that the Ocampan only live 9 years. Yeah, right. Okay, well, people in different parts of our own planet don't live as long as other people in other bits of our own planet. So the fact that another race might live less than us, or Vulcans who live longer than us,
it wasn't just that.
Fiction.
It wasn't
if
just
everybody
that.
lived the same length of time, it would make no sense.
It wasn't just that. It's the fact that you introduced all of that, plus the caretakers, plus all the other things that are involved in it. It was like sloppy writing. It was like, well, why did the caretaker go? Because he wants them to save the Ocampa.
No, he was looking for a genetic code that he could
save the Ocampa
with. So he's bringing ships from all across the universe.
He was trying to save the Ocampa, right? Wasn't that the whole start? The very first episode of freaking Voyager?
MC, people were suffering. They needed a miracle, and they got a miracle.
Well, and even worse, at the same time, this ship also has a half the component of the ship, all right, our Maquis. Well, we Maquis. Let me rephrase that. Because they were chasing the Maquis? Come on. No.
Well, I'm sorry. So you don't understand the Maquis were fighting the damned Cardis. And
I understand what the Maquis were doing the entire time. I'm saying the writing in comparison is
the writing in comparison is night and day. And first off, hey, fucking calm yourself there, O'Brien. All right, the Cardis aren't coming to get you. You're fine. Calm yourself, O'Brien. The thing is, though, I don't think they jumped right into it. I think it kind of made sense the way they played into it. But my contention is season 3 and 4 are better. Your contention is it sucks on a whole, right? But if you had to choose, season 1 and 2 would be better.
We were talking about the first episode in this respect.
I know, but I mean, we only got 2 hours.
Well, right. So well, agree to disagree. I say they went too far, too fast, and it was meant to be the start off of a space exploration. Now, episodes 3 and 4 were your classic Star Trek, and then in episode 5, Tucker gets pregnant. Yes. So they're barely even out of their own solar system, and Tucker's up the duck.
Hey, those pebbles raped him. All right. And that is the beginning of the Me Too movement. So how dare you even touch upon that? Move on. No.
Yes, he was raped by space pebbles. And you're talking about bad writing memes or MC, right? So where are we? Oh yes, and in episode 7. So episode 7, this is the first human spacecraft to be an exploration ship. And in episode 7, we're now in the middle of a Vulcan internal matters. Yeah.
Good. Why wouldn't you be? No. I'm going to stop you right there.
Before we even gotten to explore anything, we're now in 2 internal matters of foreign governments.
Of course you are. Okay, the Vulcans are the ones that had first contact. The Vulcans are the one that have helped humanity to actually achieve this point. Of course you're stuck in Vulcan politics. You didn't even get out of episode 1 without Vulcan politics. How did you get to Paul?
That was on Earth, man. That was on Earth. We should have done a bit more exploring before we went back and just fell on the old Klingon and Vulcans.
Why? Vulcan is one of the closest star systems to the Terran system. So why wouldn't you start off with Vulcan internal matters, especially when Starfleet is going to become the Federation in the end, right? It's going to encompass Vulcan joins Earth. Earth doesn't join Vulcan. You understand that, right?
But the problem is, again, Vulcans have been done to death. Klingons have been done to death. It would have been
Yeah, but you're talking about the old.
Instead of going straight to Vulcan or Klingon, we could have went to Andorian homeworld. You know,
They
could have
did.
went to
They did, though. The
homeworld.
Vulcan, no. The Vulcan plot includes Andoria, which actually, that's what I really give Enterprise a lot of praise for, is I don't know much about Andorians other than from Enterprise.
I think what Voice is trying to say kind of is that he would have liked to have like the intro arc kind of touch upon things that he wasn't as familiar with.
Yeah, but if you're thinking about this logically, you're gonna deal with the internal matters of Vulcan because Vulcan is your closest ally.
Fucking season. This is
the
first crew in an exploration ship, and what do we do?
Would have to deal with the Vulcans. Of course they would.
50 years. Oh yes, that's great exploration. That is. That's like saying, I live in
exploration. Who said this series is about exploration?
Well, that goes to his point, though, which is what he started with when he was talking about the music to begin with, the starting theme, right? There was an expectation, and he's right, that this was going to be an exploration because this is us starting out to explore. So there was a natural viewpoint that we would be doing, that the series would revolve around that type of exploration at the very beginning. He is not completely wrong about that. Now, to expect it in the first 2 episodes, I think, is a bit myopic, but I do understand what he's talking about. You have to expect that. I'm not saying that going into the Vulcan mentality and trying to do this setup for the Vulcan world, and I'll be frank with you, that to me was poorly done. It really was. Yeah.
What about the episode? Was it season 1 or 2 where they find listening post right outside of Andoria? That was a really good episode, and that episode
was fine. I didn't have that. It's just that some of the High Council things, they don't feel like Vulcans. Some of the decisions the High Council is making at this point in time don't feel like Vulcan.
That's fair. It seems a little emotionally driven, but that could have been the paranoia from the Andorian threat that they felt they had.
But they don't have paranoia. They're Vulcans.
No, see, that's an argument, though, that could be a whole separate debate. Do Vulcans actually have emotions? I would argue yes, they do. They just cover them up a lot better than humans do. Look at Cyric. Look at all sorts of Vulcans. Spock. I know he's half human, but Spock. I mean,
no, you can't use Spock. If he's half human, you can't use Spock. And you can't use T'Pol because she was infected by space zombies, which give her
no.
It wasn't space zombies.
It was space zombies.
No. Wait a minute. No. I'm going to argue that. Okay, so T'Pol gets hooked on this meteorite fucking matter, right? Okay. If you're logical and you're a Vulcan and you think only with logic, taking this shit up your fucking into your bloodstream is bad for you. That's illogical. She had to have emotion to even try it. She had the emotion.
No, she didn't try it. She was given it without her consent the first time.
It was without her consent. He is correct.
She didn't try it.
She kept going after it. Okay, I don't care what they say. You don't do a drug once to get hooked.
Well, it all depends what the drug is, Maud.
That would be situational. It would depend upon the individual, the substance used.
A Vulcan?
I don't know. They seem to be very smart. Maybe if they're out there blowing lines, they might have an affiliation for it. So back to the discussion. So Voice.
Yeah. So then we're into episode 11, and we're into time travel. Yes, this is the start of the great downfall of Enterprise. But anyway, then the episodes between 11 and 15 are not too bad as Star Trek episodes go. They actually do a bit of exploring. The first really good episode of season 1 is Shuttle Pod 1, when Trip and Reed get stuck in a shuttle pod together. That was a very good episode. Same can be said for episode 19, Acquisition, was with the Ferengi taking over Enterprise. Again, another good episode.
How is that a good episode? If you want to talk about how Enterprise fucked up, that's my exhibit A. We didn't even know shit about the Ferengi until TNG. You're telling me they met them back at the beginning of the Federation?
I'm sorry, but if that's a hole, what about the big hole cutting across the Earth that's never mentioned in any other season? No, this is not a hole to pick on. If anything, TNG screwed up the Ferengi, having them be fucking weird little whip masters. No, I think this actually does the Ferengi justice in the Star Trek universe.
All right, go ahead and continue. I'll concede that, because I do like the Ferengi. Quark's one of my favorite characters, so I'll concede that.
And then season 1 ends with, oh yeah, more time travel. Yay! Of course, season 2 starts off with time travel. So that was we haven't. Anyway,
Writer's block. Hashtag time travel.
Season 2, the first good episode is episode 2, and that's Carbon Creek, where the Vulcans are trapped on Earth. I actually really liked that season, so I did. Although I think it would have been nice to. I know we do learn a little bit about the Vulcan who stayed, but it would have been nice to have a little Easter egg in there somewhere. Then not much happens out of the episodes.
Wait a minute. Not much happens. I believe it's a season 2 episode where they run into he's the fucking navigator aboard the Enterprise. Can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. But you run into his family, right? They're in the generational ship who run cargo and stuff like that. That's a really interesting take on old school freaking Earth travel. You're acting like they don't already interact with people. They have colony ships out there. They have these long transports out there that are going at warp 1 or 2, snail speed, but still.
Yes, that's all jumping. Okay, would you watch a story about sitting in the back of a lorry delivering goods?
Got you there, Dave.
Was that what that episode was? Because I don't believe it was.
It wasn't
that
far
episode
off.
was about them being raided by pirates, sir. That episode had a lot of action in it.
All right, so all I heard was pirates in a disagreement.
Yeah, I think you're misrepresenting.
All right, let's parlay voice clarify.
Clarify what?
Because you called it a lorry, and he's saying it's Pirates of the Caribbean. Which one is it?
Well, it's like it would be that they get attacked, and all Travis does is bring his knowledge of the Enterprise. He basically like if you take the French side of the tunnel, basically all Travis does is put locks on the container so no one can get in. It's an all right episode if you're really into Travis, but it's not exactly the most exciting episode.
It's a bit more of a homage episode.
It's a personal storyline more than a Star Trek.
Yeah, but the one thing it does do is it sits up there and goes down the Star Trek mode of introducing, the story of the crew, which Star Trek is very good about Star Trek in that regard. A hell of a lot better than what they ever did for freaking Tom Paris. All right, in Voyager.
Let's look into hang on, MC. Let's look into the history of the crew who are 65 million light years from the rest of their families. Yes. They can't really get together for
I'm sorry, but you have to do that when you create the dynamic with Paris where he's supposed to be the bad boy. and they never go into his backstory
and they
really go into an
well,
explanation of that.
So you don't think they
let
explored
MD get his rant in.
hang on,
Yeah.
MC, you don't think
Yeah,
they
no,
explored
first off,
his bad boy side when they start in the first episode by
Oh.
picking him up in a prison?
All right, MD.
Okay, first off, Paris was in a prison because he was a part of Red Squadron and a guy died. That was set up in TNG.
No,
They
he
just
wasn't
changed
in
his
prison
name
for
and
that. He was in prison for being part of the Marquee and got caught.
Anyway, the thing remains.
No. I was right and you were wrong.
It wasn't because he was in the Maquis. It's because at one point he helped Maquis. It doesn't mean he was a Maquis member.
No, he was in the Maquis. It says it. And Chakotay even said he was part of the Maquis because it went into the line that Tom Paris was part of the Maquis for only a couple of weeks. Then Seska was part of the Maquis, and
Is that within the show? Is that what's said within the show voice?
Yes, it is. And
Okay.
I don't remember that aspect of it. It could be. I seem to remember though.
That's
he
what I was
helped the
asking if it was a
Maquis,
side
and
story.
they were talking about it. And what's more is it doesn't go into to explain Tom Paris or his fallout with his father or any of the rest of that crap.
It does through the season.
It does not. It
does.
never goes into it the way it needed to.
Also,
Here was the end of my rant, voice. You want to talk about fucking up time travel and you want to nail Enterprise on it? How about you look at Janeway and her time travel catastrophe?
I didn't say
that is the last goddamn episode.
I never
of
said
Voyager.
Enterprise fucked up time travel. I just said they had too much time travel.
Well, wait, too much time travel compared to Voyager, where they voided an entire season with time travel?
Yes, but they weren't the ones doing it.
They basically blanked an entire season.
MC, this is why we should be wary of time travel.
MC is wrong because it was only a 2-episode arc called The War of 100 Days. And that was because another species was fucking about with the time.
No, I'm talking about the season of hell.
No, it wasn't an entire season. That was 2 episodes.
I thought we were still on the first season.
No, we're jumping from Voyager to Enterprise because Voyager is worse than Enterprise, and that's a fact.
No, it isn't.
Get over it.
I've not watched either of these shows.
Who got 7 series? Who got 4? Oh yeah, that was Enterprise that got 4. So yeah.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah, we all can't have a dumb fucking bitch as a captain. That's why Voyager.
Well, let me ask you a different question. If that's your standard, all right, then the first season, how the hell did the first season spawn everything else?
In which season? Which series?
I mean, it only had 3 seasons, right? Isn't that your standard?
What?
You're saying which one had 4 seasons and which one had 7?
Yes.
The start of all this, the progenitor, Star Trek had 3 seasons.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so how are you saying that what started all all right, what began this entire series and the entire franchise?
It also had several successful movies as well.
Yeah, do I need to bring up Khan and the whales? I mean, what the fuck, dude?
Hang on, the Voyage Home was fucking awesome. Don't say it wasn't.
The Voyage Home sucks so bad.
Well, you're
gonna have to agree to disagree on that.
Well, what was positive about the freaking Voyage Home? The glasses. Okay, first of all, let's start with one thing about the Voyage Home. All right. Supposedly, the Enterprise comes back. The guy has knowledge of transparent aluminum. So the knowledge didn't exist, but at some point in time, this guy's supposed to exist. So how the hell did the knowledge of transparent aluminum ever get created?
Time travel.
Scotty give it to the guy.
They came back and said he's the one who gave it to them. So you're in a paradox right then and there. Just with knowledge. Knowledge does not come out of freaking thin air.
This is why we should avoid time travel.
Well, if you have knowledge in the future and you take it into the past, it mightn't be in a Pargos, it could be an Uberus, where it actually connects the universe.
It means that knowledge came out of nowhere.
No, it doesn't.
Or Boris, like Jensen. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
season 2,
no,
episode
It means
11.
the knowledge came out of nowhere and continued on in the timeline, though. Right?
It didn't come out of nowhere.
Yes,
MC.
it did.
It didn't.
Here's
Anyway,
the thing, Voice. You could hate on Enterprise all you want, but what other Star Trek show gave you T'Pol being oiled down in every other episode? All right, so
Well,
fuck off, buddy. Fuck off.
Well, I kind of side with Voice on that part.
I'm
that
sorry,
was just silly.
yeah, come on. I mean, that was. Did you not notice that in after season 2, her boobs magically got smaller? That's because they put on they were told by the big ups that they had to put on get her more less busty outfits. They changed her entire
Why?
wardrobe because
That's ridiculous. Should have been more
that's
busty.
true though. Whereas in Voyager, they actually kept 7 of 9 in her skin tight blue and silver suit. Anyway,
Oh,
season
so
2
so you're going pro 7 of 9, anti T'Pol? I don't know. That's a close one, dude. T'Pol
They're
is
both
I have
bad.
to give it
You
to
might
them.
as well throw in Deanna Troy, and all 3 of those characters would.
I'm sorry, MC, but if you think Diana Troy is even in the same league as 7 of 9 and DePaul, you're
It's
well, you're
the
fucking
same
lying.
result, which is they're there for eye candy. They add very little to the show.
Hang on.
Well,
You don't think
except
she
for
was there for
T'Pol
eye
adds
candy?
more to the show. Let me put it this way: T'Pol adds more to the Enterprise, all right, than 7 of 9 does to Voyager.
I'm
And
gonna
those
have to
two
say
add more than what
They're
Deanna
very
Troy adds to
party girl
TNG.
noises within a Star Trek debate scene.
I'm sorry, MC. You're just insane now.
I'm insane.
okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna pull the Dax card here and say she beat.
God.
But
No, I just like to point out that I'm surprised MC even got married with his view of women, that they're only there for eye candy. I'm sure his wife will let him know what she thinks about that later on.
I
Anyway,
don't think that women are eye candy necessarily. I think
I-
those 3 characters were.
no, they
Yes.
were. Oh, well, let's put it this way: Belana Torres. Do you think she was eye candy?
No.
No,
Why not? She was hot.
no, she
No.
She was okay. I'm not going to say that she was horrible, but hot. No, I would never say that she was hot.
How does subjective attractiveness of the female cast have anything to do with how good the different seasons are?
oh, it has a lot to do with it.
Nothing at all means nothing at all. But anyway, then we get to season 2, episode 11, which is a nice throwback. I think it was a nice subtly done by the writers called Precious Cargo, where Trip gets stuck in on a planet with a princess. You know, it went back to the old comic book days of the hero rescuing the princess, which I thought was good. The catwalk wasn't a bad episode. Then episode 14, we have Phlox's wife hitting on Trip, which was actually pretty funny.
That was funny as hell. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
The planet of sluts, where Phlox comes from.
Yeah,
Um,
of all the characters in Enterprise that I really do dislike is I really can't stand Phlox. I really think
Are you
that
serious, MC?
yes.
He was
Phlox
the best
is-
character in the show.
But he doesn't fit with the rest of Star Trek.
Bullshit. Trip was the best character. in
You
this
never
show.
see that species ever again.
True. You don't.
Okay, for a beginning species, all right, that's going to be part of this starting thing to introduce Phlox it sets up a dynamic that just it doesn't carry through. It's disjointed.
Yes, but MC, you have to remember, because they came from a planet of sluts, they all got AIDS and died. That's why you don't see them.
So you just wrote off the,
I
you
don't
just
think
wrote
that's
off the
actually
species.
canon.
Yes. Not what happened to Flux people in the future. They all got AIDS and died. That should be a lesson.
Voice, you are not an actual Star Trek writer. You cannot commit genocide in your words on the internet, against the entire Star Trek
I think
species. I
you'll
cannot
find
allow
that
that to
MC
stand.
No, hang on, memes. I think you'll find MC will congratulate me on using genocide, but you know.
I don't care if MC congratulates you. You still don't have the authority to do that.
What do
Go
you mean
on.
doesn't need authority?
MD was getting kind of pissed about characters.
Well, no, you want to bring up species that they never talk about again, really. What about the Zindi? I mean, I know I'm jumping forward here.
The last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
MC.
That is a but they were never part of the founding. They were never part of the crew or part of the Starfleet. So the fact that you don't talk about them again is fine as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Phlox isn't a member of Starfleet anyway. He's onto it.
I'm sorry, but is he walking around on a starship? Does he have authority on the starship? The only answer to that is yes.
He's a cultural exchange doctor.
I don't care what the heck they call him.
Well,
he has authority. He is part of that crew. You can't say that he wasn't a part of the group.
No, your argument has to work for both him and the Zindi.
No, it doesn't, because the Zindi would never. Yes. How is it that they have to work for the Zindi?
Well, the Zindi apparently still exist in the same timeline and the same future as Phlox's people.
No, actually, that is one of the things that they say is that the Zindi will cease to exist if the humans continue.
Well, I think we should have killed the bugs anyway, but you know.
Wait, did we just
I'm
bring
sorry, but
Starship Troopers?
when it comes to bugs, I go the Starship Troopers route.
We did.
Swarm.
I don't have much of a problem with wiping the bugs, but that's a separate issue.
They're afraid.
Boys, you got a problem here, mate. The Doctor has the right to remove the captain from his position, so therefore he does have authority. So technically he was a member of Starfleet, even if it was only around the edges. He still had the right.
Wait, is he a member, or do they defer to medical judgment?
No, he has to be a member. How else can you say that he has authority over any of the crew members?
Well, if the Doctor says the captain isn't fit to serve, then could you see that as a neutral way? I mean, you're basing it upon the.
No, I'm basing it upon military law, which is basically what you're dealing with when you're dealing with the early part of Star Trek. When you're dealing with the early thing with Enterprise.
Again, I do not understand Star Trek.
You don't understand the military either. That's separate.
That is also true.
I will stand corrected by Jansen on that. I will go by his judgment.
Considering that his judgment is mine, I agree.
We both bow to Jansen. Anyway, season 2, episode 23 is when we get into a problem, the Borg episode.
How is that a problem? That wraps in with First Contact. It's perfectly fine.
And you're gonna take that against Voyager's episodes with the Borg, where we go with this whole idea of a queen, and we're gonna change the Borg into things that we've never seen before.
TNG, so don't blame the Queen on Voyager when that came in TNG, matey boy.
Agree.
No, it didn't.
It did.
It did not. What episode?
Let voice explain.
First Contact.
That's not an episode.
No, First Contact was a movie of TNG, and they introduced the Queen.
And I'm not bringing the movie into this. None of the movies, as far as
wait, hold on. Are we
can be used?
No, if the Queen shows up in an earlier series, then that show created the Queen.
It does it tie in? Does it flow with the season?
It does. Well, does it flow with the season?
No, the problem is you see, it does tie in with the
whole Queen thing destroys the Borg. I'm with Anti-Trekker on this. You put the Queen in there, it changes the entire aspect of what the Borg were, what they were created, and how they actually communicated. All of a sudden, the Queen comes out of nowhere and erases the entire lore, all right, of the Borg entirely.
Well, perhaps the Borg evolved in a particular way that wasn't actually.
It is not the way they started with the Borg. The Borg were supposed to be a collective. There wasn't supposed to be a superior or an inferior. And they go with that up until the point where that stupid movie brings in the queen, and then we try to play, well, it's like a hive mind where the queen controls them all.
MC, just because you dislike that movie does not necessarily remove it from canon.
It isn't that I dislike that movie all that much. All right, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's not a matter of disliking it. It's what they do to the Borg, and then they try to play on that same dynamic and expand that dynamic in Voyager, which makes it even worse.
They took a basically unstoppable assimilating force and then put an actual choke point on it with the introduction of the Queen.
It isn't that. They changed who the Borg were. They changed the entire lore of the Borg.
Did they
weren't Borg anymore. They were
series?
A hive mind.
I'm just saying, I think we should all be a little scared that AMC is so in love with the space Nazis.
No. It actually makes the Borg and MC operate on similar wavelengths on occasion. But no. As far as efficiency and everything goes, no, I understand. You hate what they.
The MC wants to assimilate the Earth.
I have stated many times that I believe MC is in actuality a beta AI. Cabbage is an alpha one,
I'm a beta AI.
Yeah.
I'm beta to shit, dude.
I'm saying you're the second version. You're the US version that has less kinks occasionally than the British version. I'm talking gaming release dates. I'm talking about fucking data,
you just
not
called
people.
me a beta cuck. Do you believe that shit?
Kathy Newman would be proud, MC.
God, you're not doing this whole moderating thing well. You're the one pissing everybody off.
What else is new? No, MC, all I'm saying, man, is you can dislike what they did to that particular entity of creature or creatures, but it's still canon as far as I understand.
You recreated, but that's the whole point. You destroyed any kind of continuity there when you did that, and this whole thing with the Borg Queen, all right, and how the Borg were existing in this in the transdimensional warps and everything else. They basically took the Borg and said, okay, the Borg are not this collective machine. You know what they are? They're a bunch of stupid hive mind bees. That's what they turned them into.
Is that only specific to that particular series?
It's particular to Voyager.
No.
Where the Borg became absolute morons because as they gave Borg more freaking abilities and more power, they were looking stupider and stupider when you start to go, we're just going to send one cube to go take out all of humanity. Rather than the 50 or 60 cubes they could have sent. And what's more, would have sent after the first failure because they do that same thing, later on when they're dealing with species 8472 in Voyager. Voyager is an absolute joke when it comes to the Star Trek universe.
No, that's only because you don't like what happened to the Borg, which started in TNG.
No, it's because I don't like the Voyager's premise as a whole. It starts off stupid, it has stupid parts in the middle, and then it ends in stupidity.
Well, that's your opinion, and you're a Yank, so it doesn't hold much weight. Anyway.
I take slight offense to that, but...
Yeah, no, wait a minute. No, and this is something I want to talk about a little bit when it comes to Star Trek. You know where, when I don't have cable again now. We didn't pay the damn bill. Fuck them. The thing is, we had BBC, right? You know what I see on BBC? Star Trek: The Next Generation. All fucking day long. Last I checked, that was an American program, BBC. What the fuck's going on here, Voice? You guys appropriating our fucking culture?
No. Well, considering that you copied everything we did in the 60s and 70s when it comes to sci-fi, don't start getting on your uppity horse, matey boy.
Yeah, well, Yankee Doodle went to town.
Really? We copied everything from you.
Speaking of Yankee Doodle, I wonder if Jensen has
we copied everything from you guys, huh? I guess Lost in Space didn't exist.
Right. Oh. First off, I actually agree with a lot of what MC is saying about Voyager, especially with the whole Borg Queen thing. And my point for this is when they brought out Locutus, they made it very clear he was the only free-thinking Borg they had in existence. Now, that kind of defeats the whole point of the Borg Queen. And please remember that the Borg Queen was just one being. Technically, every single diamond that the Borg had was actually crewed by a Borg Queen, which makes her one of a multitude. Just something I'd like to bring up there. I don't know if you guys actually realize this, but the Borg Queen isn't actually a correct term. If anything, it's the Borg Queen of that fleet.
No, see, no, that's bullshit. And they set that up because they couldn't get the original queen from the movie to join until they redid it again. So that is writers making shit up. Come on.
Which fits freaking what Voyager was all about. Oh, where are we going to pull this one out of our ass?
Well, if you want to go by that, MC, every sci-fi show is pulling it out of its ass.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about bad writing.
One show and then another
that's a part of it. I'm talking about the bad writing that's a part of it, voice. I'm not talking about.
Every show's got bad writing.
Hey, Optimus, real quick.
I will say that there are bad episodes,
MC,
right?
MC,
hold on.
Wait, give me a second because apparently I'm not myself. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're me. So that's all I want to say. Go ahead, MC.
Yep.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, oh, look, we got to try and rewrite something here, all right, to try and recreate something. Oh, we don't care what it does, what it does. You worry about canon violations. The whole Voyager series is one long canon violation again and again and again.
Now, you have to remember, because it was the last the last in that timeline, it actually created canon.
No, it destroyed canon from what came before it. It broke because of how it tried to recreate, all right, all the species. How it tried to recreate how travel worked.
Oh right, you fucking twat waffles. Who's the fuck said Voyager is not cool?
Somebody.
I did. Fuck Janeway, that fucking nasty cunt.
You
Fuck
know what?
her.
Jerry Ryan will be better than any of your
You immediately go to Jerry Ryan because it's Uber Alles. That's all you and Voice have. Boo Uber Alles. Therefore,
Optimus,
that's the winner.
Optimus is MC incorrect.
Incorrect on what?
His accusation.
That all you guys have.
There's a lot of good aspects. Like even with the episode.
Aspects.
So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it because let me.
I'll be quiet. I'll just sit here and be quiet.
We're meant to be talking about a different Star Trek show. You're the moderator. Moderate.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to moderate. I don't know anything about the show.
All right. You know what? Here, I will relieve memes of the moderation. Okay, I will.
But aren't you biased? You came in stating a perspective.
You can moderate and not have anything to say about anything in the Star Trek, and just make sure it goes through swimmingly. It doesn't matter whether you're biased or not.
Well, no, I want to hear.
I think it's more entertaining with the banter.
Yeah, I want to hear your views on Voyager versus Enterprise because that's what it's degraded into. And
so it's Voyager versus Enterprise. Okay, I like both of them actually.
Yeah, Archer would whoop Janeway's ass. That's not him being fucking.
I will give you that. I will give you that because of the era in which it was supposedly done. You know, Janeway is like, oh, well, we're highly sophisticated and we never violate the Prime Directive, and until she gets a PMS, thing, then she does. But Archer, you had to rough it because it was like, the beginning.
How did he rough it?
What?
Oh, no. I'm going to take this one. How did he rough it? Let's talk about the Briar Patch, sir. Let's talk about when he first entered and he defended.
No, his character was one of the more rugged ones. So it's like you couldn't really adhere to the strict protocols because there wasn't that many because it was just in the era of starting out. I'm saying I like Enterprise.
No, but I'm going after Voice on this one because he's saying Archer didn't have to rough it. Well, look at the whole idea being in the Briar Patch. Look at the whole thing when.
Oh, so you weren't yelling at me? Okay, I was about to say, let me put my dick on the table here.
No, it went through the season arc, Voice.
Yeah, because Janeway never got into the 100 Years' War, the war with the Borg.
Oh, you know what Janeway got into? Janeway got into a fucking time machine and recreated history. That's what Janeway did. Fuck
that was only in the last episode.
How many times was she redoing frickin' time?
And the last episode redid the whole series. What was the point at that fucking moment?
It didn't redo the whole series, you twat.
They vacated an entire season with time travel. I'm sorry.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about Voyager or Enterprise?
Voyager now. They're doing Voyager right now.
We keep it seems like Voyager and Enterprise.
Why we should avoid time.
So
travel.
hold on, MC. I want to know what season was dedicated to time travel.
When she goes back from the season of hell and she rams the frickin' Voyager into that the time.
Okay,
ship.
So that's 3 episodes, not one season.
No, but it voided the entire. It avoided it all the way back.
No. Let me stop you there.
Optimus, it was F5. She hit F5 on the whole fucking shit.
She hit F5 on the last 3 episodes, okay? It didn't void an entire fucking season.
Yes, it did. It voided the lead up to all of that and the 3 episodes with that ship.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did.
The last 3 episodes, okay? That was the 3 episodes that got them home, okay? The actual starting when they go to that nebula where the Borg is at was 3 episodes from the end. It didn't retcon the entire fucking season.
Optimus, here's my question to you and Voice both, because you both seem to be on the side Voyager is better than Enterprise. Okay, fair enough.
I didn't say Voyager is better than Enterprise.
Okay, all right. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I apologize for that. Okay, I apologize. But here's the thing. Why did they have to represent? Why did they have to break the temporal code to retcon Voyager at the end when all they had to do was find a second working wormhole? Deep Space Nine, anybody? Why isn't there a second working wormhole? Hello?
It's a big universe.
Okay, so I can actually answer that because in the area that they're at, wormholes that were natural or hard pressed to be found. Janeway, I will admit this, Janeway retconned it because she had fifis.
That is it. Who died? Why did she retcon?
However, to blatantly sit there and say that an entire season was retcon is disingenuous. It was 3 episodes.
I disagree.
I agree with you.
I think in order for that to start to make sense, then you've got to go back an entire year. It takes an entire season, and you might as well throw it in the trash.
They did what, 65 years and 3 episodes. It's like, here's a montage of bullshit for like the very last episode. It's like, here's what you could have all went through. Tuvok decided to do schizophrenia because Janeway had too many periods. It's
fucking Tuvok, that motherfucker. But no, I'm reading the chat. I haven't done that yet, so I need to. All right. So what's up, Oz? Hammered Spud, how you guys doing? Mr. Stonely, I think, took off. But yeah, okay. Oz says the Prime Directive is more of a suggestion than an actual rule. So we're back to Pirates of the Caribbean. All right.
Oh, Janeway definitely proved that one. The episode of Voyager where they go on the planet because there was a tachyon explosion, right? And Tom Paris goes back in time, and so does Janeway, like a day or so because of those, spatial or temporal distortions. And it's like, let's adhere to the Prime Directive until they didn't. It was just a matter of,
Okay, well, I know this debate's never going to be wrapped up, voice. Should I open it up? It sounds like Aaron has some input regarding DS9 at least. We're going into the second hour. What do you think?
Let me ask this.
2 more pages of stuff to go through, but you know.
Let me ask this, okay? Did we already determine that Enterprise was considered canon?
Enterprise is canon. A voice hasn't argued that. We started arguing the intro song. That's how tedious we get around here.
Oh wow! Oh
Yeah,
wow! Hold on. There. Oh, apparently Janeway ended up picking out the little stuff. Okay.
And again, I really haven't watched Star Trek, so I'm just like, all right, is this particular thing canon? All right, it may be, it may not be, or maybe we just don't like it.
When it comes right down to it, there's 3 different ways to do things: the right way, the wrong way, and the Janeway. Okay. It's like the wrong way and emotions were combined, and then apparently 3 episodes retconned to make it the right way. So,
well, hey, keep fucking around. I'll be like Benjamin motherfucking Sisko in The Pale Moonlight. Like, I'll set your ass up.
Except he didn't set up anything. If you're going to say it right, mate, say it properly.
Don't need a Betazoid to know that's a trap.
Dude, is that a meme? That has to be a meme. That's amazing.
I coined that shit. Come on.
That is awesome. That's a great comeback.
Oh god, dude, a t-shirt. I see a t-shirt coming. Fucking Roxana Troy.
No. It'll have Deanna Choi doing like, "Oh my god, the Berg," and then it'll be like, "Don't need to be a
Blair
Betazoid
White's
to know
face
that's a
over the
trap."
top of Deanna Troy in that stupid outfit of hers.
Oh dear.
Oh god. But no. Okay, so Voice said he'd be right back. He still has 2 more pages of notes. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're gonna fight this one out. It sounds like.
Because I brought up the page on why Enterprise is canon. And and then it's just like everyone agrees, and I'm like, oh well, hold on, let me put my muffler away because it was out on the fucking table.
No, we had no problem with the canon part. The problem is which one's worse. What's the worst thing what's the worst?
Well,
Star Trek?
Yeah, well, we don't count Discovery because that's obviously the worst. But right now, it sounds like Janeway
and what's best.
No,
Janeway and Archer are battling it out.
There are too many. There's too many things to, determine what your priorities are when it comes to what's best. Well, which one
let's dig into Enterprise a little bit more. Okay, let's talk about the characters. T'Pol, she's hot. I dig the pointy ears. All right, moving on.
I would punch that fart box all day long.
Oh, dude, I already brought up the oiling her up every other episode, which I did appreciate. Anyway.
Oh, you remember the episode? You remember the episode where Archer, gets
when did this become a porn
Alzheimer's
discussion?
and it turns out that they've been married for like how long?
We have more than 3 dudes here. Where do you think it's going to go?
Hey, I'm talking about if you want to keep your dick in your pants. I was talking about the episode where Archer, I guess, was forgetting every day, and T'Pol was actually taking care of it. Turns out that they were actually on a planet because of the fact is he had the sickness and she's been taking care of him, and it comes to light that they've been married for a while, and like that one episode spanned like what 5 years.
Yeah, no, I wonder how Trip feels about that. Just wondering.
It's all right. He'll just go through a wormhole and come out on the other side of Stargate Atlantis.
If you're going to compare crews, that I think is a better way of doing it. All right, say from captain to captain, obviously Archer. All right, let's talk chief engineer to chief engineer. Right, Trip versus
Tucker.
That's a tough one because I like both.
Tucker is better than B'Elanna.
He is better than B'Elanna. It's a lot closer than Janeway versus Archer, in my opinion. All right, but I still got to go with Tucker.
I would go with the holographic Doctor over Phlox.
Well,
Yeah, the holographic Robert Picardo, hands down, like beats beats the Enterprise.
That's a win. I'll give you a win.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're going to disagree with that one, you can lick my dick because it's not happening.
But you got to sit up there and take a look from a science perspective. You end up with what's her name, 7 of 9 versus the Vulcan.
Wait,
Ooh.
What about 7 of 9?
No, wait. Can T'Pol and 7 of 9 have the Jello fight that I'm
See, that to me is a kind of if you're going to look at it from that perspective, it's kind of a push. I tend to go with T'Pol simply because 7 of 9.
Wait, I thought
we were doing MC, Vulcan. Did you just attack 7 of 9? I don't know much about Star Trek, but all I know is I like 7 of 9.
No, you like 7 of 9's boobies.
She's an excellent.
Joke's on you. I like 7 of 9's everything. Huh?
Well, hey, T'Pol was pretty good too. I mean, she didn't need a push-up brawl. You know what I'm saying? She was all right.
Guys, jokes on the lot of you. 7 of 9 looked better when she had all of her Borg implants. The moment they made her too human, she became boring.
God damn it, Jensen.
He does have a point. You don't.
She became edible.
Jensen, exactly. I think ex Mrs. Memes would agree with you.
It's like she's disconnected from the Borg collective. Tuna can, meat key.
Tell me I'm wrong. God, I must have walked right into this. Hammered Spud, MD into cat girls, apparently. I approve. Farty says, I'd get into 7 and 9's wormhole. You know what I'm saying?
Hey guys,
I just hope there's no wormhole aliens. That'd be weird.
My comment to try and prevent all this with about Pornhub, but apparently we're going there anyway.
Whoa, wait! We should extend to Pornhub.
No. There's a line, and people are crossing it now.
I was going to ask if we had multi-platform integration for that yet.
Oh, you mean streaming on Pornhub? I don't know. You plan on dancing for us, Memes?
Oh no, Pornhub.
You don't want to see.
I can totally have it set up. We just got to get a table. We got to get a pole. We got to get a life-size wax replica of a Borg. Pre-implant removal.
I'm lagging just running this.
Yeah, he's dancing around with the Borg queen and shit. Dressed up like Dana.
Oh, that's nasty, Peter.
Wait, would I get a title?
What?
Oh no! If I would become the Borg king, do I get the title king?
No.
Look,
you get the
title drone.
Bitch.
What's the whole point?
Look! No! There's only one Borg king, and that's Locutus, motherfucker.
Yeah, you better ask the motherfucking Cisco about that. He doesn't like Locutus much. Hammer Spud wants to know, is Pornhub canon? Well, you can fire your cannon.
Well, okay, so the way that I would define it, and anyone else is where is the page at? Okay, so
come on, voice, you're back. Let's hear you add something here.
Was it created by Rick Berman?
Yeah, okay, so Enterprise was created by Rick Berman, which is weird because Rick Berman was into the serialized episodes, and this had a whole story arc from beginning to end. You notice the temporal time war never goes away, right? There's a reason for that. That was written in from the very beginning. It was front-loaded.
Because Janeway had a period and fucked up the timeline.
Well, shit happens when you have your menstruation.
Well, that's what happens when your security officer, the one that you go to for consolation, only has sex every 7 years.
Well, when she starts snorting that moon rock, she's kind of
she's like Pon Farmy.
Yeah, a little bit frisky. Trip had fun, I'm sure. But no. The thing is, though, okay, Voice of One, you brought up the fact that nobody talks about the giant canyon cut within the southern United States and all the way across the continent. Is what? It goes from the East Coast to the West Coast, right? When the Zindi weapon attacks. Fair enough. But that could have been so long ago that they necessarily just don't mention it every day. I mean, when in TNG do they necessarily go into the history of Starfleet?
Repeatedly, actually. They were often taking us back to the academy and giving us little snippets of the planet.
How many times did you hear about Zeppelin Cochrane before First Contact? Once, TOS, and he was a different character.
That's fair, but I'm actually going to counter your argument with the DS9 point. Now, where is it they keep going back to in DS9 when they go to Earth? To a certain person's father's house who would have been, I don't know, in direct line of the blast that ripped up the US. Sorry, dude.
New Orleans was in a direct line with the blast that spread from northern Florida all the way across. I think you had your coordinates off a wee bit.
Wasn't Zeppelin Cochrane's house in Montana? Or the silo?
No, he's talking about Cisco's dad, and Cisco's dad is in Nolens, and Nolens is pretty damn far south compared to the northern Florida panhandle and spread it over.
Yeah, are you completely sure about the direction, sir? Because the map they showed, the one time they showed us the image, it looked like it was going from sort of central-ish North America going down south because it actually went to the ocean.
Ooh, Taryn has a point. What we should do is retcon the whole thing and have Stargate Atlantis replicators busting in instead of the Borg.
That'd be interesting.
I would be. And then Shepard comes by, dicks down Janeway real good, and takes over everything.
No, and okay, so here's another beef with Voyager. The Q episodes. If Q really wanted to bang Janeway, he could snap his fingers and bang Janeway. He's motherfucking Q, right?
Well, remember, the Q continuum was concerned about the balance of life, right? So, I mean, he wanted to bang her, but he wasn't about to violate that life just to do so.
Oh, he could have gone full Harvey Weinstein.
He could have,
come on.
but real power is shown when you can show restraint, when you can do something.
And plus, the essence of Q isn't to get people to do what you want; it's to convince people to do what you want.
Yeah.
Is it? Is that why he tortured that bitch in Deep Space Nine? Huh? Is that why? Because he didn't want to force her to do what he wanted?
Posts. Do you mean when he came back from the Delta Quadrant with Picard's
ex-girlfriend? And he tortures her. He makes her fucking age. He does.
He shows her what it would have been like if he hadn't been there.
Oh, you're full of shit. He gives her fucking diseases and shit, and then he's just sitting there all smug. Oh, I've never seen a space station get imploded before. This should be fun. Like, no. Q was a skirt-chasing fucking creepo in that episode, and you fucking know it. Everybody knows it. Come on. Even the actor knows it. The actor said that wasn't Q. He was pissed. He's like, really? This isn't my character. I'm not a skirt chaser. I'm fucking Q. Like, what the fuck? Why would I be chasing pussy? Like, it was the stupidest episode ever, and that's from my favorite Star Trek. So, yeah.
Anyway, season 3 of Enterprise. Exile, episode 6. Where, for some reason, right, they leave Sato off on an alien planet with an unknown alien because reasons. It doesn't seem exactly safe.
How many times did they do that in TNG?
With an unknown alien in an unknown part of the galaxy, I can't think of one.
With a goddamn kid, they let Wesley Crusher on that planet where he fell through a fence and they were going to execute him. Don't fuck with me,
there
boys.
Now, come on, there was other Starfleet officers down there.
Yeah,
he wasn't alone. Which is why
and Voyager has the episode where basically they turn frickin' Paris into a salamander, they turn frickin' Janeway into a salamander, and then magically they're beamed back into reality.
This is where we get into it.
Yep, I brought that episode up last night.
Okay. So,
yep.
right now, this is between me and MC. MC, tell me what you dislike about that episode, and I'll clear things up for you.
Okay. Well, first of all, let's start with the fact that they couldn't fix Paris for how long? For how long was he in the doctor's bay, and they couldn't figure out how to separate him from the disease? And after he's fully converted, after he's fully into some,
this is gonna be a mind blow.
It's a transporter. Well, I'm waiting.
I think MC's too passionate that his own mic was like, I'm cutting you off.
Yeah, no, MC, you died out a little bit. But here's the thing, though. You asked how long. I would say about 35 minutes of a 46-minute episode they spent trying to cure Paris.
So here's your fallacy number one. You're under the assumption it was a disease. Because of the fact is, after he hit warp 10, he was in every place at every time.
Okay.
Well, hold on. A byproduct of which was speeding up the human evolutionary process.
And so the end all beat all of humanity is to regress back into salamanders. Yeah, that's evolutionary.
That's one way to hold on. That's one way to look at it. And they themselves said that's over the span of several billion years. Okay, it just sped up the process, so it wasn't a disease; it was natural progression sped up.
So his DNA was changing and forming and molding in and of itself, right?
No, MC, no.
Okay. So like a retrovirus that couldn't be stopped, right?
Well, he had a pre-existing condition.
No. I can see where he's trying to go with this, but it's still false on the premise that it was already going through that evolutionary process, however slow it is. So he's
already going through the process. It gets speeded up. Tell me how they changed it back and stopped the process.
No, I don't even want to know that yet. I want to know why we're all going to be space lizards. Can somebody tell me?
Salamanders, they're amphibians. We're going back to the amphibians. Hey, we're going back to the frogs.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I live for the next 10 billion years or so, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm still waiting for you to explain to me how they retrograded him back to normal and stopped the advanced process again.
Because it was a temporal solution. It's much like the ultimate solution.
So they're controlling the temporal time frame that they couldn't figure out early on.
Because in the beginning of it, it would make for a bad episode.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to connect this back to Enterprise and watch how I do this. What about the temporal thing in Enterprise where they go into the future? Why is there no lizard humans or amphibian humans? Sorry,
did they go several billion years into the future?
No.
Okay, fair enough. They went quite a bit.
Mad, the Xindi weapon carved a swath of destruction from Florida to Venezuela. Just so you know, mate, I just checked it out.
But it did go above Nolans, right? It didn't go through It didn't go through New Orleans.
Yeah, and I'll give it to Taryn. Odo was possibly the most interesting character.
No, Odo. No,
Hey, Odo was fucking awesome, dude.
Odo was the most unique of all the beginning characters.
Quark. Finally, the Ferengi had an actual fucking story. They weren't just this stupid wannabe villain that they created for TNG. I would say Quark is the most interesting character in Star Trek.
Yeah, well, no. If you're going to talk about interesting character as a character, the character I like the most in Deep Space Nine is freaking Garrick.
Not Ducat. Yeah. What about Ducat?
No, not Ducat.
Arc. Ducat's story arc. Oh man,
Ducat's story arc isn't horrible, but Garrick's is far better.
Yes, agreed.
Hey, Taryn, are you referring to when Odo went back to the Shapeshifter Collective and turned human because he did something that wasn't up to their standards?
Where they banished him to the human realm.
Right.
Oh my god! Remember when he was like sitting there? I love this episode. He's in Quark's bar and he's like, "I don't feel good." Quark's like, "What?" He's like, "My stomach." He's like, "Oh, you're hungry." He's like, "What's that mean?"
What the fuck is that? Here's some food.
No,
What the fuck is this?
But the storyline starts with Enterprise being the worst, supposedly, and I'm telling you, it's frickin' Voyager. Voyager is far inferior. All right, there are aspects about Voyager that I like. I'm not going to deny that. That there's aspects of all the Star Treks that I like. The real Star Treks that is. Okay. But when I'm ranking
just for you, MC, I'm gonna do the painstaking task of watching all the Star Treks, all of them. And yes, I mean Discovery 2, and I'm going to do.
Oh no!
I sacrifice myself for the greater good. Okay.
There's no greater good.
And I will do a video series on each Star Trek.
That would actually probably go over very well because there's a lot of talk about Star Trek.
Hey, are you trying to compete with me or something, Optimus? What's going on here? I thought we were on the same team, buddy.
I'll bring you in. It's fine. I know how busy you are.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that was a slide jab.
See, the thing is, you tried to do a parting shot at me. I just got a bigger one.
So but basically, you just trumped his Nancy Pelosi.
You're grounded.
Too soon.
Yeah. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Anyway. Okay, the worst episode of Voyager, other than the Salamander episode and the time travel bullshit, I think has to be B'Elanna going into the Klingon underworld. Like, what the fuck were they doing there? Oh, God,
it's because she had an identity crisis. She didn't, like, she's trying to fight her Klingon side because her human Fifi side, which is fucking despicable, by the way, just didn't want to come to terms with who she is.
Well, see, and that's the thing. I want to like that episode because I like mythology and shit, but it's just so fucking dull, dude. She's on a boat for fucking 20 minutes out of a 45-minute episode. Like, give me a fucking break, dude.
Wait, is this the one where she dies, or is the one where she does the whole ritual for, like, blood pie and shit like that?
She's on the ship to go rescue her mother or some shit from the Klingon hell. So the ship is going down, kind of like the river Styx, in Greek mythology. I know what they were doing with it. That's why I want to like it.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say Greek mythology?
The river Styx and stuff. That would be the Greek mythology of Hades and the underworld. Yeah.
Right, but it wasn't the river Styx.
I know.
If anything, it was more akin to the Viking.
I don't know. That's what they were trying to do the allegory for, though.
Well, and in a lot of mythos, the upper echelon of like the underworld, there's always a river to cross. You see it in the Vikings, you see it in Roman, you see it in Greek, you see it in Egyptian.
Yeah, no.
The thing is, the gates that were shown, that's more like Valhalla.
Yes. I saw the River Styx thing, and then I kind of saw the Valhalla thing also at the end of the trip, but it really seemed like paying the passage and going down the River Styx to me. But whatever.
Okay. It's time to activate my nerd mode. For one thing, can we at least call it the Gates of Stovokor? If we're going to do it, can we at least use its proper bloody names?
Stovokor.
Yep. And the river they were on was the river leading them to Grethor, which is the Klingon hell. Sorry, but if you're going to do it, at least use the proper names, guys. Thank you. Carry on.
Right. We were comparing it to other mythos. So it's like as far as matching up what would be. You know, Stovall is like Valhalla.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Well, yeah, no, and that's what they were trying to go for there, but I think it fell flat, and I think it's one of the worst episodes of Voyager. I really do. I think it fell flat. I didn't buy it, and I wanted to because I like the mythology behind it.
What they
wanted the allegory, but
here's the reason it sucked, and it wasn't because of of going in and trying to save someone. It was the fact that Klingons were showing an emotion other than rage in combat. That's why it sucked.
Fair enough. Okay, Voice of One, you're back. You have notes up the ass. I am gonna share this hangout link. But first off, go ahead and continue on with Enterprise and get us back on track. And I will be right back. It sounds like I need to beat a child or two. Just kidding. Don't call the cops. God damn.
Oh shit! Get Jeff Holiday in here.
SWAT, 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 SWAT.
No swatting or rocks.
Nothing wrong with rocks.
No, you want to bring up Jeff Holiday? I could probably find his fucking house. I've been in the
to be honest, I don't know that whole situation. I just know that one day he was, fine, and then next everyone's shitting on him for some reason.
MADDOGE Productions does not promote the stalking of other YouTubers.
No, we don't.
Fuck you! I stalk who I want.
yeah, it's my own accord, motherfucker.
Optimus Christ is an independent contractor of MADDOGE Productions.
Yeah,
independent contractor. Where's my 1040 papers?
We pay you more money to do difficult things.
I was about to say I have business expenses here.
Now Memes is getting me on the hook for a goddamn contract. Shut the fuck up, Memes. I'm not going the way of Tonka saw here. God damn it. I don't want to turn in my blood work. No.
To make sure it's not under a false name.
Yeah. Bob Bobbington? That doesn't work? What do you mean? Come on now.
If you do that, my first response is, God damn it, Bobby.
Right.
Wait, what's that?
Star Trek.
Yeah, in a second. Was the blood work under Donka? Is that what happened?
From my understanding and my short time of researching it, it had one letter that was out of place.
Oh, you're fucking shitting me. That's bad as the goddamn
that's from what I
gather
episode. Now. one can insinuate that he intentionally sabotaged the effect by doing that, because if you're trying to sign your name, how the fuck are you gonna misplace one letter?
Yeah, no, motherfucker, I have been spelling my name since I was 5 years old, at least.
Wait. No, wait. That wasn't even the signature, though. That would have to be like filling out just the form.
Filling out which form?
Because your signature, because I was gonna say my signature doesn't look like anything. It's just like
there were several, and on one of the forms, one of the letters was out of place.
So he misprinted his name.
He misprinted his name, making it null and void. And not only that, he did it 30 minutes past the due date. He sent it in 30 minutes past the due date. That's strike 2. Now, I guess we can all I guess we can all console in the fact that anytime that he says, I'm going to beat your fucking ass, he'll seem like a 10-year-old petulant child rather than having everyone do, ooh.
Well, no, I saw a video earlier today, and it pretty much says it all. Tonka is worse than fucking Kraut. That's pretty bad, dude.
I seen a video that said Tonka worse than Mundane Matt, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna watch this later.
Yeah, it's about the same though at that point, right? I mean,
I was like, hold on, did Tonka did Tonka not sign the name properly because he was out collecting boulders?
Yeah, right. It was a boulder etching. He wrote his name on the boulder, and then he had to etch it in like you do with a fucking gravestone.
All that chiseling made his hand shake when he was signing his name. I get it. Okay, now it all makes sense.
Well, it's hard to push yourself around in a wheelchair and sign your name. I mean, fucking hell. All right, I'll stop.
I know it's easy to poke fun at it, but I mean, we don't know if he's in a wheelchair or not. Unless there's proof that I'm missing.
No, I don't know nothing. I'm like John.
Don't get me wrong. It's nice to poke fun at it, but realistically speaking, we don't know if he's in a wheelchair or any sort of, movement enhancing device.
Yeah, he could be in a little fucking buggy for all we fucking know. But anyway, all right, we'll get back to Star Trek and why Enterprise is better than Janeway's cunt stain.
Janeway's love for coffee, though.
Who cares?
Is it Rock-the-Chino?
I fucking care. Lick my dick.
Do you drink Janeway's coffee or you lick it out of her cup? Well,
that herpes-infested cup? I don't think so.
Just how much do you love coffee? I mean, come on.
I went on a date. I went on a date one time just because she said that she can make good coffee, and left immediately when it was determined that she couldn't.
Oh, nice.
So you don't fuck with coffee. You say you can make some coffee. I give the prerequisites. Here's how I like it.
Oh, I can make coffee, just not well.
It brews in the pot. What more do you want?
No, that's what Dunkin's is for.
I don't like coffee. But yeah, now everybody's gonna crucify me.
Well, you also like the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.
And voice might have dropped. And is he coming back?
I don't know. I was waiting for him to expand upon his argument.
My apologies to Voice. I didn't know he was a Dodgers fan.
And the hits just keep on coming.
All right, first off, Dodgers have Russell Martin now at catcher. We still have Kershaw. We still have all the good pitchers. We have our closer still. We have fucking Matt Kemp. They traded Puig away, but we got a good shortstop out of the deal. So fuck yourself. Red Sox, get fucked. You're not going to repeat.
Sounds like the best pitching staff in the NLCS.
And see, here's the thing. Like, before my body told me, fuck you, I'm shutting down, my plan was to actually play Star Trek online while you guys were debating and have it shown.
That'd be fun.
Oh, wait, wrong series.
Yeah. I'm going to have to kick you out now.
And there goes the moderator. Good job.
So if
he left.
Okay, that means I win, right? Last man standing.
Technically, yes. Technically,
Victory
yes,
is
you
mine.
do.
Yeah, kiss my rebel ass.
But I mean, MADDODGE and myself already had a discussion about that one episode on Voyager, and yeah, and I was under the impression we were debating whether or not Enterprise was canon, but since apparently we reached a consensus on that one, I can get rid of this page now, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, we argued about that for a second, but he had a bunch of notes that we were going to go through. But it is what it is. Hangout link is out there, guys. Go ahead and click it. Hammered Spud says, filibuster, I want a rematch. Hey, I'm still here. I'm still in the ring. Come on. You want at me? I'll knock you out like fucking Archer did a fucking Zindi prick. Keep it up.
Starfleet Commander Iridium Universe for the Ultra Nerdy. It's a browser-based. Let me check that out real quick.
Star Trek Armada 1. That's the Star Trek game to play.
Hold on. Wait. Where is it? Come on. I should have it. I think I have Star Trek Armada.
Cool.
Well, no, that's what I was going to ask. Jensen, how do I find that old-ass game?
Actually, what you do is you have a chat with Magic Bollocks, because he found it for me and managed to get a copy that works on this laptop. So he might be able to help you out there, sir.
Well, I see him in the chat. So
there's
Magic
a Star
Bollocks,
Trek game I don't have yet, and it's free. Star Trek Timelines.
It's all right. I played it on my cell phone for a little bit. It's one of those though. It's like a cell phone game.
Oh,
it's a mobile game.
Mobile games suck.
But here's the thing. Okay, since I win, victory, still standing here. Cue Rocky theme music right now. Anyway. But okay, let's argue something a little bit different. MC, Prime Directive. Good idea, bad idea? When do they ever really follow it?
It's a stupid idea. It was a dumb idea to begin with. It's based on this. We're smarter than everyone else, so we will tell you when we think you're ready to have technology. And ready to join the star community.
Unless there's something I'm missing, I was under the impression the Prime Directive was, hey, don't fuck with civilizations pre-warp because they don't have the technology themselves. They don't need to witness the Enterprise insert model letter here. To be look, aliens.
So let's not mess with pre-warp civilizations. But if they're going to get wiped out, we'll just let them just crash and burn. But wait, we constantly mess with the pre-warp civilizations. Let them crash and burn. We constantly go out of our way to try and prevent these disasters. But if it's a star going supernova, we'll just write them off. No big deal.
Wait, what are you referring to? Like.
I could refer to one thing directly, and that would be not Nemesis, but the movie right before it, Star Trek Insurrection. Star Trek Insurrection. They have a listening.
Well, remember the movies aren't exactly.
We'll talk to TNG where Data's talking to that girl in subspace. All right. So apparently they have subspace communications, all right, but they haven't figured out warp yet. I'm still trying to understand how they went that way, but okay, we'll accept that for the moment. All right, she's communicating with this girl in subspace, and her planet is going to die. Well, we'll just let the planet die. Well, let's go back to the other one where Worf goes and saves his human brother and that civilization, where they were going to let the planet go, or they knew the star was going to go supernova, and they knew it was going to wipe out the entire civilization. It's a stupid idea. Taken the way they take it, it's dumb.
Agreed. In all fairness, the entire Federation, a bunch of idiots. We are talking Go on, Ed.
No, Jensen, you've hardly talked. My apologies, sir. Go for
it. The Federation doesn't actually work. Purely for the simple fact that the rest of the galaxy is basically doing its level best to go to war with every other square inch of the bloody galaxy. And the Federation are going out there chiming peace and love like balls to that. Humanity is good at two things, surviving and war. We should have gone out there as the warriors we were meant to be and gone from there, because the whole Federation thing does not work for humanity. Prove me wrong.
Well, I can't right now because the closest thing we have to it is the UN, and that's not working out very well.
Case in point.
But no, the thing remains though. I do believe the movies are canon, especially the original series movies, man, because you only got 3 seasons of TOS, and then the movies to build off the entire franchise. You have to count the movies. Sorry, you do. And when you count the movies, you have Insurrection. where you had a Federation.
You don't have to
listening
count the
post.
TNG movies.
Why not?
Why do you?
Because they're a part of the TNG universe and they expand upon the inherent Star Trek universe. You have to include them. You don't have to include the books because, well, they choose not to. But they choose
if we're playing the game, they choose not to, then I choose not to sit up and accept the movies. Any of them.
Oh, as a total side note, now women are taking hits at Gillette as well for making everything pink.
Oh, Gillette's fucked. Yeah, no, I need to shave actually, but
I was talking about my idea earlier where we sit up there and have the best of men can be movement, and we'll have it at on the Washington Mall in like June or July where we all go out there with barbecues, right? And we cook the greatest barbecue party ever, the best a man can be.
Hoorah!
Have a sign on the front that says "No women allowed."
Well, no, the women can come there. I have no problem with the women coming in there. Gotta have somebody serving the plates.
I knew someone.
Hey, wench, fetch me a beer. Anyway, okay, so I don't know. They left. The opposition left. I win the debate. That's nice. That's a change. MADDODGE gets one. But do we want to continue on talking about Star Trek, or do you want to go into a little real world stuff? Because my brother-in-law was flipping out over the whole food stamp thing, and he's thinking it could take a year before.
Well, make sure you get it like a hamburger and kind of hold it up and say, "Bark, little boy, bark, bark."
Well, no. It's funny because he's thinking it's going to take up to a year for this to be settled. I'm like, no. I kind of echoed what you said, MC. I'm like, dude, Nancy Pelosi has to back down. She's in San Francisco. She's going to have people starving outside her office. What's she going to fucking do? Just let it go? Yeah, you're a Democrat. Okay, you care about
There was
people.
an article where someone brought illegal immigrants to what's your face's house, and she had
Pelosi.
the cops remove them.
Yep, that was Pelosi. Pelosi's they jumped the fence to prove the point. So, I mean, the thing is when it comes to this stuff, is the pressure is going to build on Nancy Pelosi and her group. The pressure is not going to build on Trump. You've already thrown everything you can throw at Trump. So the only way that Nancy Pelosi can win, literally, right, is to convince the Republicans, all right, to betray their base. The problem is that the Republicans in the House that are left, they got rid of a bunch of rhinos in the House. So she has no rhinos to deal with right now. You're dealing with the hardcore conservatives now who have been looking for this fight and arguing with their leadership, which is now gone, that this fight needed to take place. And that's what they have. So they're not going to cave. All right. So then it goes down to the Senate. You're going to need at least 13 Republican senators to flip.
MC, that's why I was going to jump in there. Because if you're looking at the Senate, you have the libertarian-minded senators like Rand Paul already closing ranks around President Trump.
Yes.
You're not going to get the Senate. You're done.
No,
you're done.
You're never going to get enough people in the Senate. There are like 4 or 5 rhinos that would betray him. But that's it. You need 13. You are going to need 13. You're not going to get that because the Republicans have more people up for re-election this next cycle, all right, in the Senate than the Democrats do by a significant margin. And their base is what's important to them, and that wall is important to their base. They don't dare back down.
Well, I don't know why Kentucky really cares about the wall, to be honest, but was Rand Paul up for re-election this go around, or is he 2020?
No, I think it was he might not be in 2020 either. I mean, he might be 2022 because you only have 2 senators, but they're still doing 6-year terms. So I don't know what. I think Rand Paul isn't up until 2022. All right, Mitch McConnell was reelected this term. I think Rand
Paul's playing the game for his future presidential run again. He's already ran.
It isn't just Rand Paul though. It's you got to think of how the base is. Trump's base is the conservative core base of all the Republicans. They can't back down either. So what does this leave? This leaves Nancy Pelosi out on a limb because her caucus can vote for the wall. Nancy Pelosi can't. Okay, it doesn't matter. All right, that you know, from a Democrat standpoint, they're going to have to sit up there and support Nancy Pelosi come hell or high water. But eventually, people are going to be writing their congressman, just like your brother-in-law needs to start writing his congressman and say, "Give him the damn wall. I need to eat."
And then they eat the poo-poo.
Okay, and then they have to betray Nancy Pelosi. Now, right now, they're still more scared of Nancy Pelosi than people. But here's Ocasio-Cortez. You know, all you're going to do is look at Ocasio-Cortez and tell her when she goes, "Well, you can't do this." It goes, "Well, it's either support the illegal aliens, right, or support the American people. Which one are you going to support? If you want people to be harmed, if you think harming American citizens is worth it for choosing against illegal aliens, go for it." They're not going to be able to sustain that. And that's really what it's going to come down to, because when people really start hurting, when people really start complaining and saying, "Hey, enough's enough," the pressure is going to mount, not on Trump. Because the only pressure that can be brought to bear on Trump is the press saying, "Well, you got to change. You got to change." Trump's going to say, "Nancy Pelosi's got to change. Why do I have to change?"
Well, no,
that's where it goes back into.
MC, there's two things I want to bring up real quick. One, do you think Cortez is a younger version of Jill Stein? Yes or no? Just real quick, yes or no?
No.
Okay. Number two, I thought of this last night when my brother-in-law and my wife were talking. I was in my cups, as they say, so I had a few beers already. But what if the states created a state of emergency to get emergency funds from the federal government to pay for the food stamps?
Can't do it.
Because you're going to have people flipping the fuck out and starving.
Can't do it.
Here
you can't get. You got to understand why is the government shut down?
Okay, I'm sorry my daughter's crying, but yeah, I get it. The government's shut down, but you can issue a state of emergency. Why? Over the funds. They want to raise the cap again.
They want to raise the debt ceiling, right?
The debt ceiling, the cap.
Okay,
yeah.
You can't get around that.
Salary cap, like
you
MLB.
Can't get around that with an emergency measure.
You can. You can sequester emergency funds. You could activate FEMA.
Who can activate FEMA?
Trump would have to, but the state could. The governor of Oregon could put out a state of emergency in Oregon.
The governor of Oregon could use can use state government of Oregon funds to do it.
Yeah, but if he does that, Trump's forced into a corner.
If he does that, freaking the governors, and it proves his point. The states can sit up there and take care of that. You don't need the federal government. Shrink the federal government.
You know, I agree with you.
Just reminding you.
No, I agree. I agree with him, but go ahead, Jensen.
He was meant to put the link into the chat so as other people could join in. Do you want to get on that?
I thought I did it already.
He did.
You could do it again if you want, but I thought I did that.
Right,
yeah. But no. MC, I agree with you. It's just the thing is though, these Democratic governors like Kitty fucking. Oh my God, I hate the governor of Oregon right now. I hate that guy, Mitch. But the thing is, though, she would issue a state of emergency and force Trump into a corner.
No, that doesn't force Trump into a corner. If a state wants to declare an emergency, if a governor wants to declare an emergency, let her. How does that?
The whole of the West and East Coast create a state of emergency because of food shortage in the United States. You have France already on fire.
Let them declare a state of emergency. It doesn't give them access to federal funds.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The optics.
See, the state of emergency. The optics are tell Nancy Pelosi from that state to sit up there and build the wall. She's the one who's going to release the funds. All she has to do is build the wall. Agree to build the wall. Stop doing this.
Real quick,
it all keeps coming back to the same thing. Who's in charge of this?
Well, MC, I just want to address the chat. Oz asks, how about them gun laws in Oregon? We are an open carry state, sir. The gun laws in Oregon are actually very good.
No, not now. Have you been reading what they're getting ready to hammer you with?
No, maybe I missed something.
I suggest you take a look at what the new proposals for gun laws are, because they're absolutely draconian. They're trying to get rid of almost anything that
are they taking away my open carry?
I don't know if they're taking away open carry, but they are trying to get rid of all automatics or semi-automatics.
That's why I paused, because I was waiting for you to correct it, because automatic weapons are illegal. Semi-auto, as fast as you can squeeze the trigger, are not illegal.
Not in Oregon yet, but they will be.
No, I think they're underestimating the voting public in Oregon.
Are they?
Dude, I have a mountain lion in my backyard.
Yeah. Like, well, are they?
Cocksuckers.
I hate to say this, but are they? Really? Are they?
We're not going to stand for it. We don't.
Who's not going to stand for it? So far, you've been reelected by wide margins. Democrat socialists again and again and again.
Portland has. Don't fuck with me. I live in the Cascades.
It's your state, and your state is the word is dominated by the Democrats. You're one step away from California, a single-party state.
Cascades, Eastern Oregon, parts of the Valley, up in the Cascade Mountains.
And who are your senators? Mountains. Who are your senators?
Ron Wyden and fucking I can't remember the other.
Who's your representative to Congress?
I don't know. Someone I hate.
So don't give me this crap that it's just Portland. It isn't just Portland. Accept it.
It's not who I voted for. I keep losing, but I'm voting for people. God damn it. You act like I'm the problem. I'm not voting for Ron Wyden.
I'm telling you, don't try and defend your state as if it's just the problem is just Portland. It isn't. It's far broader in your state than you're willing to admit.
No, population density, and you know that. You know that's
Eugene is how red is Eugene?
Yeah, but look at the outskirts.
Well, yeah, but don't give me that crap.
Do I need to show you the map of Oregon and how much?
I know what Oregon looks like, and I know that the population centers are the blue areas versus the large red areas. But how many representatives do they send to Congress from those red areas versus those blue areas? And you're getting represented by a congressman from those blue areas, aren't you?
So, no taxation without representation. Catch your drift. All right, I'm not paying taxes this year. I'm canceling my H&R Block appointment.
When MADDOGGE production is no longer available. Lie.
Yeah, the IRS.
Incorrect, because I'll still be able to host it.
yeah, but formerly known as MADDOGGE Productions.
Yeah, he's serving 5 to 10 for tax evasion. Yeah, he'll be back.
It's live from San Quentin Prison. MADDOGGE Productions.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
On a smuggled in mobile phone.
Yeah, you don't want to know how I got that.
On the bright side, you won't have kids screaming in the background, but you'll have inmates.
What's that shouting in the
I know.
background?
They all want on the stream too,
3 people
right?
are getting shanked. Don't worry about it.
You get serial killers like, oh, I'm in on this. You're on YouTube. Like, you know.
All of a sudden, it's like, look, I'm in cell JH12PQ, and I got a gun.
We swatting people in prison. That'd be awesome.
That shoot shinks.
You'll be well known. You'll be well loved, MADDOGGE. What are you talking about? They're gonna love your sweet little ass.
Oh yeah,
they love you a long time. They love you a long time.
You know that's fucked. When I got arrested in San Mateo, right? The cops driving me to jail, and he's like, "Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. That's 5 years. I hope you enjoy San Quentin." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck you, buddy." Hell no.
Well, this is what he was talking about. I can see it now.
Yeah, no. And I'm just like, nope, I want a lawyer. I didn't do shit. I don't know what you're talking about. They sent me home 3 days later. But yeah, no, San Quentin. Fuck that noise.
got your attention, didn't it?
Yeah. Fucking A, it did. Hell no. A little fucking 19-year-old white boy from Oregon. No, I don't want to go to fucking San Quentin. Fuck that shit.
Okay, just real quick on that fucking Gillette bullshit thing. He had a fire station in Australia in a suburb called Newtown. Yeah, Newtown is a place where all the weirdos, the goths, the hippies, and all that kind of shit congregate. I used to drive up King Street, Newtown, and yell out to the goths, "Hey, how much do you charge to haunt houses?" They weren't amused. Anyway, so this fire this fire station on their message board put up a thing saying our masculinity isn't toxic, but house fire smoke definitely is. And the fuckwits got the shits and told them to take it down.
I would have been like, lick my asshole, make me take it down, bitch.
Well, I'd be all like, okay, sign a petition saying your name, your address, and all this kind of, and your phone number, and like, yeah, that you don't like this, and next time we get a fire call to your address, we might think twice about going there.
Yeah, because since you don't think it's toxic.
But another thing with that is like the Sheila's jumping up and down about the pink razors costing 50% more than the man's blue ones and all this. Well, okay, they do exactly the same thing as the Sheila's maintain. So why not buy the cheaper man ones? And then they say, "Oh, but we do," just so they don't seem so stupid. And it's like,
right,
well,
and not to mention. Well, not to mention that women do use them a whole lot more and to cover a lot more space than what men do on average.
Yeah. Still, point is, buy the man's ones.
Yeah, well, no, the thing is they already buy the man's ones. Why? Not because they're cheaper, because they're really not. It's because they're better and they last longer. Like, my wife steals my razors. You know what I mean? But then again, I like to grow my beard out because I'm fucking lazy. I don't want to shave every day. So
then once again, if they are indeed buying the men's ones because they are better and cheaper and all this, why are they having a fucking cry about not buying the pink ones?
Because they want the color pink, at the same price.
There's no argument there. They don't have an argument.
Right, but you see how petulant they are.
I just never got that though. Like, they don't have an argument, but they still want to cry.
And you guys were laughing when I said they could serve us dishes.
Gender is a social construct, but when it comes down to collars, they completely acknowledge blue is more masculine than pink.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I never looked at powder blue as being all that friggin' masculine when you think about it.
Yeah, that's the least masculine thing you can have in a war zone is a powder blue beret.
Yeah. Good point, sir. Good point.
And when you think about it, pink's basically the color of a lung that's sticking out.
Well,
or a used tampon.
Or a Sheila opening her legs.
You do know that pink was originally the boys' colour and pastel blue was the girls' colours, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure that we knew that.
And then because of our toxic masculinity, we was like, no, fuck no, we want blue.
Yeah, don't fuck with Dodger blue, motherfuckers. All right? I've already had enough issues with
So you like pastel blue?
Dodger blue is more of a dark blue. I would think pastel would be more of like baby blue. So no, I'm not a big fan of baby blue. Ice blue is my favorite color, but I also prefer Dodger dark blue. Navy blue too, pretty much the same color.
Oh, right. You like the navy, do you? Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, fuck you, buddy. Isn't your fucking continent an island? Go fuck yourself.
Yes, it's an island and a continent and a country, and we are best of all three worlds.
Never mind.
You gotta come back to that one, MADDODGE. I mean, you set yourself up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna go with.
And it's imaginary too,
but I left
it
alone.
It's imaginary.
It's an island, a continent. It's a country, and it's imaginary. Hey.
So So I'm cruising Facebook, right? And someone was stupid enough to post a now this election video where it's like Donald Trump averages one false, one false whatever every 36 seconds. The first point that they hit was when he said we have a growing problem security crisis at the border. They said false. Illegal border crossings recently hit a 46-year low. How the fuck do they determine that? Do they just go patrol the walls like, hey, are you coming in legally? Oh, no. Oh, can you take the survey for me?
No. This is how they determine it. They just sit there and go, they made it up.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, it's like, the statistic, 80% of all statistics are bullshit. Yeah, okay. There it is in a nutshell.
Well, it's like, how many caravans came during Obama, Clinton, W, and Senior? None. How many were coming during Trump? 4 so far. Or is it 5 now?
I think the 5th one's coming now. 2,000 freaking Hondurans.
I'd say that's the fucking border security crisis.
How many crossed?
None. But that's
but why aren't they crossing? Because he deployed the military to the border.
Yeah.
So, how many caravans are going to happen before they try and cross by force?
Oh, they've tried already. They've just been beaten back.
Well, that all depends on when Soros runs out of money.
Which will be never, unfortunately.
Do we have a projection on that? Like, when is that going to happen?
I don't know. The Koch brothers are probably supporting the fucking Minutemen. So, I mean, this is going to be a back and forth between.
What are you talking about? The Koch brothers are open border people, dude. Hate to tell you that.
Koch brothers are libertarians.
The Koch brothers are libertarian and open borders.
Oh, they're the open border libertarians? I hate them. I hate those guys. God damn
I hate you guys. I seriously hate you guys.
Yeah, well, no, that's like the corner of the party we don't talk about. Like they're the ones over there by the wall.
They're the Nancy Pelosi group.
Oh, the fucking leftitarians! I swear to God.
Grounded.
I'm over here hanging out, I'm hanging out with like fucking Tom Woods and stuff, the Mises Institute guys. I might go hang out with the ANCAP guys every once in a while, but those open border libertarians, no, thank you.
That's just sort of kind of like saying you're not into bestiality except for fucking Labradors.
I don't know where that came from, but that was a damn good joke. Fuck you, by the way. Fuck you, but that was a good joke.
Right, hold it. Are we really going to allow the Australian to make a bestiality joke and not go Rolf Harris here? Come on.
Hey, when did he fuck a kangaroo?
Don't need to be a beta boy to know that's a trap.
I don't know. When did you leave your kangaroo's fucking pouch?
Well, last time I checked, he fucked little children, not animals.
You gotta take pride where you can, right? Is that what you're saying?
there's a huge distance to jump between fucking bestiality and pedophilia.
Well, I mean, when it's all kangaroos, it's all jumping.
Yeah, but no one gives a fuck if the kangaroo's underage.
Well, were they all named Joey?
Hey.
Wait, Joey, like in Friends, he walks up to the room. He's like, "How you doing?"
Oh, Joey, I thought you said Jelly.
No, I said Joey.
Yeah, well, that all depends on whether it can crawl into the pouch or jump out of it.
But aren't you already trying to crawl into that pouch?
Oh no, yeah, no. Kids crawl into the pouch to go to school. Yeah.
Well, MADDOGGE, your stream has now gone its typical way.
Oh, no, hang on. It hasn't yet. It's fucking Jews. Now it has.
It's the final solution.
God, you guys are horrible.
Hey, oh no, seriously, on a serious note, yeah, in Melbourne, there's this woman who got murdered, and like she's an Israeli apparently, but it actually turns out now that she's an Arab Palestinian, but they keep saying Israeli and all this kind of stuff. And well, if she was indeed an Israeli, my point is that being 20 years old, she should have fucking not tried to dodge the draft, and maybe she could have defended herself.
Okay.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, for her.
I'm not sure where you're going with that. I'm just like, what?
No,
I heard the push at the end to make it a punchline, and I was like, "Oh, this is a joke."
Oh well, kind of was, but everyone's making a big fucking deal about it. Oh, poor little girlie, she walked home in the middle of the bloody night and got pounced upon by some black fella and all this. Oh, we all got to feel sorry for the dumb bitch who couldn't defend herself.
So R. Kelly made his way over there. Then.
No. Stop. Hold the presses. Stop. It was a drop bear. Stop blaming.
It was a drop bear.
Drop bear named R. Kelly.
The African Australian community. Stop.
No.
Racist.
This was Aboriginal. They've already caught the bloke.
They caught the drop bear? Did they use a trank gun or what?
No.
They did the drive-by shooting.
They caught the Abo bloke with his dick up a drop bear. That's how they got him.
The Abo folk. God damn it. And I'm sure that's a racial slur. I just don't get it because I'm American.
Well, Abo, short for Aboriginal.
How is that insulting?
Because they don't like being called Aborigines. They don't like being called Abos. They don't like being called Bungs. They don't like being called Speed
Call
Up.
them dirty knees then. Fuck.
Hey?
What do they want to be called?
Yeah, how many names do you have? And which ones are condoned?
Tons. You can't say speed hump. You can't say fucking darky. You can't say black fella. You can't say Aborigine.
Where the hell did speed hump come from?
Same thing as the reason why we call them bungs. It's because they bounce off your bull bar when you hit them. And they go boom.
No, that's funny.
Holy shit! I never know. Like nobody footnoted this chapter of the racist fucking handbook. Like,
no, seriously, the accepted terms are Aboriginal and Koori, but you can't definitely not call them a Marb.
What's a Koori?
A Koori is supposed to be the Aboriginal word for their, even though they're nomadic tribes and all this kind of stuff, and none of them have the same fucking actual indigenous language, they all reckon that Koori all universally means Aboriginal. Or Australian blackfella. Or African Australian American, or whatever the fuck you idiots want to call them.
I love speed bump. I'm sorry, but I love speed bump.
Speed bump's what I hadn't heard of before. That was a bit new.
Well, there's a joke there. It's like, how did we make the Pacific Highway? It's quite simple. We got 10,000 abos to lie down. We hit them with a steamroller. How did we get the white lines down the road? We got every fifth one to smile.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, what do you call a whole bunch of Aborigines rolling down a hill? Avalanche.
Avalanche.
Oh dear.
Is it so? Do they need to call the ambulance?
Yeah, the abolance. What do you call an abo with fucking dandruff? A lamington. I think you might have to look that one up.
Yeah, you might want to explain that one.
Okay, it's a chocolate covered cake with coconut all over it.
Okay, fair play.
Oh, so wait, German chocolate?
Oh, you can put German chocolate on it. Hey, okay, what do you call an abo out the front of a courthouse? Defendant. What do you call an abo in a suit out the front of a courthouse? Organised crime. What do you call an abo in a red mini miner? A Jaffa. What do you call an abo in a red Commodore? A thief. What do you call an abo in a red Ferrari? A bloody good thief. What do you call an abo with a gun? Sir. What do you call an abo? what do you call an abo without a gun? Anything you want.
Okay. Okay, Australian racism is actually quite funny.
Yeah, and the best part about it is all the abos are poor, so they don't have computers and the internet, and they'll never fucking see this.
Damn.
I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna get another beer.
Hold on.
You guys didn't get Abo phones like Obama phones over here? I mean, you got the Abo fucking iPhone.
Nah, they get their own. They just steal them off the white people.
Hold on, before we continue, Voice of One put in the Discord. Thanks for the great debate. Glad I put time and effort into it. We're telling you to come back, asshole. Like, we even were willing to attribute the whole dropping of the hangout due to some Eskimo shitty internet that utilizes sled dogs to pull the signal. You want to be part of the debate? I'll even shut up while you jump back in. Just get your ass back in here. Stop being a pussy.
The fucking Abos have got better internet than you. Sure, they stole it off the white people, but yeah, they've still got better internet. Hey, I'm back in a minute.
Dang.
And now you see why we love the Aussies. They say all the things the British won't actually say, but are thinking.
He flipped me off. Hey, I hope you check under your car in the morning, buddy.
This just in, MADDOGGE Productions does not know how to make pipe bombs or anything timed explosive device related.
No.
And I am definitely not Irish American. Not at all.
we wouldn't know how to do that at all, no. Not the slightest.
Not a bloody clue, mate.
And his copy of the Anarchist Cookbook really wasn't his. It was kind of his.
Hey, you shut your whore mouth. I can knock it off. I do not own the Turner Diaries either, you fucking asshole.
Not a single copy, not one.
Yeah, I totally
15,
didn't print that
20
off.
maybe, but not one.
Okay, here's a joke for you, real quick. Just on the subject of abos, this bloke, he goes out into the scrub, and he's going through some country towns, and he gets into this one town, and he sees this bloke run across the road and shoot an abo, and no one does a bloody thing. No one blinks an eye or anything like that. And the guy walks up to this other bloke and says, "Hey, how come no one gives a shit?" He goes, "Oh, no, you're allowed to shoot them. Don't worry." Okay. So he gets into the next town, he sees an abo, and he fucking floors it and runs the bastard over. No one blinks, no one fucking gives a shit. Anyway, he thinks, "Oh, this is fucking cool." Gets into the next town, sees one, jumps out with his gun, fucking shoots the bastard. Drops him square right in his face. Fucking still, no one says nothing. He gets into the fourth town, and he's, I need to get some booze and some food. So he goes to the bottle shop, grabs a carton of beer and gets some food, and he puts it in the back of his ute, and he fucking goes into another shop to buy more ammo because he was out of ammo by that stage. And as he's coming out, he sees a group of abos fucking stealing all his beer and his food out the back of the fucking ute. So he gets out of the fucking shop, and he's like, fucking bang, 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 fucking shoots a lot of them. And the copper walks up and says, "I'm going to have to arrest you for that." And the bloke says, "Hang on, I thought you're allowed to shoot them." And he goes, "Yes, you are, but you're not allowed to set traps."
Nice.
Okay, so Bullets in the chat says, "Top of the morning, MD. You plastic patty. You can I buy a peg?" I don't know exactly what you mean. And what's a plastic patty? I know a patty is a slur for an Irishman, but I don't know what that's a fake Irish.
That's an American who thinks that they're Irish because they have a beer or two on St. Patrick's Day and wears a silly hat.
I fucking hate St. Patrick's Day. Like, seriously, stop appropriating my shit.
Yeah. Hey, I like St. Patrick's Day, damn it. It's an excuse to get drunk.
It's an American holiday. It's not actual Irish. Like, shit needs.
Oh yeah,
it's one deal trying and getting most of it correct. It's a different thing to attribute it to fucking leprechauns. Okay, I will.
Yeah, because the hordes of Irishmen that worked on the railroads, they weren't real Irish. Nope, not at all.
So you know why the Irish woman took the pill twice a night? To be sure.
God. Oh dear.
Oh man, that hurt me. That hurt my soul. Oh, so apparently I'm cruising through Twitter, and it's like when the single mom starts blaming toxic masculinity, and this is in reference to like the Gillette thing. And you remember that children brought up in single mother homes are 14 times more likely to commit rape and 20 times more likely to end up in prison. Booyah.
Because of that toxic masculinity.
If it is toxic masculinity, guess who's teaching it to him? I can just see it now, like a demon comes out from the underworld. It's like,
Well, no, and the thing is, Voice of One, if you're still there listening, dude, jump back in if you have more to say, because, dude, nobody ran you off. You left.
Yeah, you
the next time, if you're
out.
going to do this,
have no
it's going to
blame
have to
but
just be you and him. I mean, I kind of jumped in a little too much, I think.
Yeah, MC, you always jump in. Like, feet first, blind, you always jump in.
Hear the denial?
Like, you're like, what is this? This is Teflon underneath my feet. I need to get out of here. What's this? I don't know that glowing orange stuff.
Yeah, but I apologize. I apologize, Voice of One. I probably jumped in a little bit too much. Although he did call me insane for saying that the Voyager was far worse than Enterprise.
I like both.
I got another Abo joke for you. Fucking
out of nowhere.
Two
Abos.
Yeah, two Abos die and go up to heaven. St. Peter says, "Hang on, wait there." Goes up to God and he says, "God, there's two Abos at the gate." And God says, "Yeah, and?" Says, "Well, I thought I'd better let you know." God says, "Well, we're all inclusive. We don't prejudice and bias and all this kind of stuff. Go let them in." So St. Peter goes back down to the pearly gates and he has a look around and he comes back up to God and he says, "They're gone." And God says, "What, the Abos?" "No, the pearly gates."
Nice.
Wait.
Ain't Jack says in the chat, as Star Trek Discovery is the best Star Trek.
Oh, no. See, everyone's missing out on the other Star Trek series. I mean, the one that NASA has been doing for about 30 years. And they had STD, and then NASA had the
Space Force?
No, STS.
Okay, Aunt Jack, you're a regular. Don't take it too personal. But I put you in timeout for that comment. Don't take it too personal. I know you're a regular. Don't take it personally, but it was well deserved. That's beyond the pale.
Yeah, no, Star Trek syphilis. NASA's been doing that for 30 years.
I'm sorry. It was more of a joke, but I had to. I couldn't resist. You're in timeout. It's all right. You'll come back.
So much for the whole libertarian thing there, then, eh? Cutting off.
I draw the line at STD. I draw the line at STDs in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, not a good thing.
First, there's fucking conscription. Now there's bloody internment and punishment, and then he's drawing the line at people's choice to have an STD. You're not that libertarian now, there, man.
Yeah, he's been infected. Hey guys, I gotta get going, so I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, have a good night, MC.
Toodles.
No, now that he's jumping out of the fire back into the frying pan, Voice, come on.
Now that he's gone, let's talk shit about it. Anakin.
No. Here's what I'm putting together, right? He didn't get his voice through because MC was, being passionate as always, and then he chose a point to drop out, which would make it seem like internet cutting out. But his statement was all like, insert sarcasm here. So now that he's gone, come back on. You have like several pages. I want to hear it. I personally want to hear it. So
no voice, and it wasn't ever a fuck you, dude. You know how the show goes, and it was a little different tonight because at the last minute I made the hangout. I was waiting on you, Optimus, to be honest. But
yeah,
no,
that's my. I take responsibility for that because I said I wasn't going to sleep, but my body was like, "Fuck you! You need to recharge. I'm putting you down."
Oh no, shit happens. It's all good. I'm not mad. No, and Aunt Jack, I hope you're not mad, dude. Once again, I mainly timed you out as a joke. So it was 300 seconds though. I don't know how to turn that down. So that's like 4 minutes. So my apologies, sir.
Oh yeah,
So
another
it's
thing.
5 minutes.
Another thing, just real quick on the Star Trek thing. The best thing about Star Trek is 7 of 9 and 2 of 36.
Oh yeah. I'm still telling you, she looked better with all of the Borg implants. Okay.
Only because one of her charging ports contained a vibrator.
There was that too.
Shut up, Wesley. Voice is currently setting the motion sensor on the bomb under MD's car.
Fucking no! Like seriously though, if bloody the TNG was actually real, then every 5 minutes, Deanna Troi would be saying to Wesley, "Would you stop it?" A teenager.
If what?
A teenager fucking sitting there thinking, "Ooh, linoleum, dick's going hard. Ooh, Deanna Troi. Ooh."
Fair point, actually. Yeah. Except, of course, he was a unicorn. He was pure. No, he was a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is that I've seen fucking what's his fucking name, bloody Will Wheaton, in so many other things where he just plays a complete asshole. He does it too well, and I get the impression that in real life he'd be a fucking asshole.
Yeah, agree completely. He comes across too Wesley for my comfort. It's as simple as that.
Now he comes across the kind of cunt to just sit there with that stupid fucking smile on his face while he's insulting you, going, "Yeah, and what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" And as soon as you take a swing at the cunt, he's all like, "Fucking police, police, haha, sucked in, I got you in trouble." Ah!
Did you just?
That's why.
Did you just bad?
That's why if you're going to do it, you punch him and you punch him so damn hard he can't call the police because the cunt's looking for his jaw in the next room.
Yeah, don't kick a man while he's down, but Wesley Crusher, you just keep kicking.
Well, no, here's the thing, No, you can't say Wesley ruins TNG for all time. Wesley's only in, the first 3 seasons? And then he's fucking gone?
No, I never said he ruined it. I just get the impression that the cunt who plays Wesley will be an asshole in real life.
Yeah.
He is. Says, you want to get blocked on Twitter? Tweet at him, shut up, Wesley.
Exiled says at the panel, Wheaton is a giant prick who constantly complains.
Yeah, because he's a little D&D fucking nerd fucking piece of shit. And, whatever. Hey. I'm cool with D&D. Hey. I'm just saying.
I was about to say, don't disgrace D&D like that.
Hey, no. Open up the book. Under Soy Boy, you see Will Wheaton. He is the poster boy for Soy Boy.
No, hang on. You got to pronounce it properly. It's Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Shut up, Wesley.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, comparing Wesley to, like, D&D stuff. That's discriminatory against D&D.
Yeah.
No. The only reason I made that comparison because Will Wheaton in real life now does a YouTube thing about fucking tabletop games and D&D in particular. So, yeah.
And now I lost interest for D&D.
So tabletop games.
Good thing I have my own system written up.
So tabletop games, does that include patience?
Well, is that a card game?
No.
Yeah.
Is that solitary or whatever?
Yeah, solitaire. Solitaire.
Okay. Yeah, American, man.
Okay, so he does do one on patience. Well, then he loves to play with himself then.
Yeah, you know, and I like for like the first like 5 years I ever played solitary, I played it wrong. Like I didn't know how to actually play the damn game.
That's
But,
what you do.
know.
You go up to someone, you
Red
go,
goes on red.
do you play patience or okay, do you play solitaire? And then if they go, yeah, you say, oh, you like playing with yourself, do you? Fuck you all.
No, I guess Voice of One is sulking in his tool shed. I don't know, dude. I don't think anybody really cut him off. I don't know why he dropped out like that and left me a middle finger on my Discord, motherfucker. Whatever.
Well, so understanding him, he probably had this, whole synopsis planned out, and he was planning to read through without interruption. And if I had been up to be able to host it, there would have been that opportunity to read it without interruption. But then MC is like, "I'm the juggernaut, bitch." And
no. See, what he did was he got a phone call from Sinn Féin. The Ulster boys want something made up, so he's got to go and create a device.
So I mean, what'll happen is that if the Voice of One wants to, I will pick up the mantle and take the blame.
I think he's chosen Mad as his target. Just deal with it.
Yeah.
Well,
Mad,
I am
device.
public enemy number one. It's all good. Whatever.
Yeah, you're getting the device, Mad.
Hey, you know what? I dumped your tea in the harbor. You blow my car up. Fair deal.
So what about putting tea in the gas tank?
It wasn't his tea though. He's Irish. It's completely different from the United Kingdom. You must have thrown some potatoes in the harbour while you're at it.
I fucking love potatoes. You shut up and
Yeah, I know, right? I ain't throwing that shit away. Like, you motherfuckers. Like, I'm keeping that. I ate the potatoes.
He ate the potatoes, and then he ate the potatoes. You see him with all the potatoes all over
and then you eat the poo-poo.
Wait. How did it go to an Indian accent? Hello.
Welcome to... We serve the curry all at once.
Yeah. Welcome to customer support. I pressed 1 for English. Yes, and I am speaking English. God damn it.
That was a horrible accent there. What the
fuck
I know. Was that?
I don't know. It was a little bit of Australian mixed with Indian. I don't know. I was channeling you.
No, that just was something made up right then and there. Fucking
yeah. Fuck off, Artie. Nobody asked you for your critique.
Have you tried turning it off and turning back on?
But in fact, it was Nigerian who was saying that they eat the poo-poo. Actually, it's more like this.
But it's okay, because afterwards you get $10 million, because I happen to be Prince.
It's actually more like this. And then they eat the poo-poo.
And then they eat the poo-poo.
All right. So Aunt Jack is back. He didn't get offended. Thank you very much, sir. He says potatoes is only good for making vodka. Nothing better than Russian moonshine. I like vodka. Vodka's
okay. So what does he think Kelpies are really good for? Or Chihuahuas?
Oh God, my 2-year-old son just behind me went vodka. I'm like, oh God, facepalm.
Fucking vodka, man. Who gets that?
Apart from that, if we're going to go on to potatoes, we're talking to the Irish. Shouldn't we be talking about poaching, not vodka? And nobody knows what poaching is. Awesome.
I said yes.
Oh, cool. Bonus.
Please tell the class.
It's
poaching?
Literally... Go on, mate. All yours.
No, you go ahead.
No. Optimus, you stuck your fucking hand up. Come on, tell the class.
Go for it, Jensen.
So he doesn't.
Yeah, basically, it's the Irish version of vodka, but probably about 8 times more toxic. And in all fairness, that shit's alive all on its own. You don't drink it, you so much bite it out the glass.
All right, it's like Lebanese grappa.
Yeah, actually. It's literally, it's just another version of moonshine with another different name.
Yeah. So I believe the difference between that and moonshine is that they don't take the head away; they include it in the whole mix.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me because Guinness is just sewage.
Yeah, so it's a traditional distilled beverage, and it ranges between 40% and 90% alcohol by volume.
Yeah, yeah, it's like Lebanese grappa.
Yeah. So it was so the difference between like moonshine and passion is it's a small pot still. For you Americans, think crock pot crackers, okay? So yeah, small pot still doesn't take the head away. It includes it into it. And it's usually made from cereals, grain, whey, sugar beets, molasses, and potatoes.
And piss.
No, that's Guinness.
I'd like to disagree, but I can't stand Guinness, so yeah, you're right.
That's horrific shit, that stuff. And like the Irish people are like, oh, but it tastes nicer in Ireland. Yeah, I fucking bet it does, man. Fucking, I'm going to take your word for it.
I'm sorry, I kind of have to. This is coming from a person whose country created Foster's and then denies anything to do with it. Really, dude?
Who did
any comments?
Who did what with who for how many cookies?
The Aussies created Foster's and then deny anything to do with it, or as they put it, we don't drink that piss.
No. We absolutely fucking admit to making it. I mean, like, after all, like, we give it to the wogs and the fuckwits and overseas because they're the dumb cunts that will drink it. It's like with the Yanks and their Budweiser. They're like, shit, we can't stand Budweiser. And it's like, well, how come you got it? It's like, oh, we only give that to the fucking foreigners when they come over here. And it's like, yeah, that sounds like Foster's.
Fair play.
The difference is, I like Budweiser.
No, wait a minute. Difference is Foster's is okay. It's not my favorite. But St. Pauli Girl is one of my top 3 beers. Is that the German equivalent? Like, do they give that to us foreigners? And
okay. Here's 2 beers. If you can get them over in America, try these 2 against fucking Foster's, right? There's VB or Victoria Bitter. Fucking try that. Or Carlton Dry. Try those 2. Fucking, they're way better than fucking Foster's, man. It's what most people do drink out here.
I've heard of VB, but I've not heard of the other one.
All right. Well, yeah, in my DMs, Exiled Opinions is set to go at the top of the hour. So we got about 20 minutes left about whatever you guys want to talk about. Sorry about my daughter yelling.
Seems like your daughter has a final thought on the whole matter.
There's an idea, Matt. Why don't you initiate the old final thoughts thing? Come on.
He's muted, so I'll initiate it. Yeah. So, Jensen, what is your final thought on the whole stream as of now? Like, I'm talking about like all the subjects that we talked about.
Well, we didn't really get into that much detail with Star Trek without it going all over the bloody place, seeing as it was meant to be Enterprise, and we spent more of our time in Voyager than we did anywhere else, which is a bit of a shame. The jokes that Farty done were absolutely brilliant. Nice one, sir. Loved every one of them. And at the end, talking about booze, never a bad thing. That's my final thoughts.
Never a bad thing. Farty, go.
Well,
what? No joke to crack? Come on.
Yeah, the drop bears got him. My final thoughts would be simple. Check out Exiled Opinions here at the top of the hour, and also, Voice of One, dude. I don't know why you dropped out. We were having a good conversation. As a matter of fact, it did tie in Enterprise because we were comparing Enterprise to Voyager 1-to-1. It was apples to apples, not apples to oranges. I think it was a fair way to take it. And yeah, it wasn't as structured as we thought. We can go for a round 2 if you would like. Hit me up instead of flipping me the bird, my friend.
And this time I'll host it and record it so that way there's no people jumping in. Slap it up on the site. That way you have your full say. He has his full say. Bada bing, bada boom.
Absolutely. And tomorrow we plan on doing the Quinspiracy, right, Jensen? You're going to be up and around. I'm also working on a side project with Creepy Little Book. We're going to work on something about Aleister Crowley and the Book of the Law. Should be entertaining. So we got a lot of good stuff in the mix. Optimus, what are you doing over on your gaming channel, man?
On my gaming channel, I am currently creating thumbnails for games that I have plans on for series. The first being 7 Days to Die. After that, and it's going to be more videos than anything because the live streaming. Don't get me wrong, it's fine, but I'm having difficulty staying high energy throughout the whole thing, especially when it's like, oh look, blueberries.
Have a can of Red Bull. That'll fix it.
So I mean, it's fine and all when there's people to converse with, but when dealing with live streaming and video games, you quickly realize that there aren't many people wanting to talk while you play a video game about anything that isn't substantial. Because let's face it, one of the reasons I'm over here is because of politics. I don't do politics on my channel. Everyone talks about politics.
Just do what PewDiePie does and make stupid noises.
I have my own reservations on that whole thing too. But
well, no, and Optimus, that's the thing. Like, I would hang out over on Vash's channel, right, while he was playing video games. And no, this is not a diss on Vash at all whatsoever. It's just he would get into his game and he'd get irritated when people kept talking about whatever topic. Well, it's hard to do both, right? It's hard to be.
It actually is. It actually is, which is one of the reasons why on mine, I have a rule. If you're coming in, hey, Toys Ain't Nice, welcome to the stream. Even though it's close to the end now, stick around. But it is difficult when in a stream and talking with others to keep it high energy, talk about video games, and then play it at the same time. Which is one of the reasons why I always suggest if you're hanging out with people at a stream and you're playing a video game, make it a game to where you don't have to focus that much on. You know, if it's high competitive, high focus, you're better off doing recordings and then doing like highlights or something and putting it up, which is one of the reasons why I haven't been streaming recently, is because lately I have been getting more into the whole. Oh, hello. Apparently, Hulu decided to automatically play on me. Fuck that. Where was I at?
Oh, hello.
Well, no, you were talking about how you were recording videos more often now instead of doing a stream. And yeah, I can kind of agree with you. When I do my gaming, my backup channel and do gaming, it's mainly like baseball, to where I can talk with the chat and I'm just playing baseball. I mean, it's pitch your pitch, which I'm really good at pitching on that game. Or batting, which is just swing with the good timing. Right. Like it's not hard.
Right. And realistically, like anyone that knows me knows that I like to do 500 things at once. So when you're streaming or recording, you can't necessarily do the things you want to do, as a multitasking, individual, because it'll automatically come through on the streams or the recording. So it does take a lot more effort and energy to do it. However, you don't have to maintain that high energy when recording because you can always edited afterwards. Streams is what got me my watch time before YouTube did the whole, hey, look, now you got to have this many subscribers and this much watch time before you get monetized or, anything like that. So I had well over the amount of watch time that they needed. I didn't have the subscribers. And that usually resulted in like streaming 8, 12, 15 hours at a time. I can't do that anymore. I mean, the net return is diminished. So I'm definitely going to be, switching to either a mix of recording and streaming, or I might just go to recording.
Yeah, no, I used to do the marathon streams as well. Not so much anymore. I might do it when I hit maybe 300 video. The Redeye number 300. It's like 48 away at this point, 49 away. I might do a long stream then, a celebration, but yeah, the 8-hour stream has kind of died. I look for 2 to 3 hours. That's the window I'm looking at. Kind of like a radio show.
Right. Yeah. So it's just goes to show that when doing this type of thing, if you are naturally high energy and you're comfortable with putting your face on a webcam, because let's just face it, you don't necessarily watch streams anymore without a face cam to see their reaction. Then with streaming, it's not going to happen.
Well, the thing is, though, Optimus, I have gone on my webcam a couple times since I got one. I don't do it for the Redeye because, well, it's 3 o'clock on the West Coast. My kids are right behind me watching TV and playing and shit. I'm not going to have them on the camera. Now, if it's late at night, after 9 when the kids are in bed, I might turn the webcam on. Like, I'm not scared to go on camera. I've done it a few times. It's just,
right, but you have a lot of variables that can influence your intention on the outside instead of being able to focus on the webcam or the stream. So it's like, that takes away from you as well.
Absolutely, yeah, very good point. And I'm not going to have my kids in the background. No, the internet doesn't get to see my children.
Right.
Oh shit!
You heard that? That's next door.
Oh, is it? I was like, what is that? Huh?
Domestic.
Right.
But no, we got about 18 minutes technically until Exile Opinions goes on air here on the channel. So
right.
I think we're gonna wrap it up here.
Before we do, Toya ain't nice. 8-hour streaming. This was way back when, where I would attempt to do, full games in one run. And do it on a stream. Whoever popped in. These days, I don't have the time or the high energy to maintain that the entire time, and I don't want to be monotone and low energy during a stream. So it's pertinent nowadays to just go to recording.
Yeah, no, and I'm also looking at the chat. Hammer Spud says, MADDODGE, if I ever see you without the top hat, all my illusions will be shattered. Well, don't look at the backlog then, my friend, because
he usually has a beard.
Well, let's just put it this way. While he's got his beard, he looks like Killer Keemstar.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. It's funny. Yeah, I've been told I look like Keemstar. I don't know if that's good or bad.
And now here's the news.
So it's bad. So that's a diss, right? Like, I'm not sure
no. I'd have a shave if I were you. There's too many YouTubers would probably come up to you in the street and punch you.
Right, and for those of you that are actually interested in video games, and streaming and my godly voice, just look up Optimus Christ on YouTube or anywhere actually, and you'll be able to find the giant green robot that everyone knows and hates.
And if any of you cunts like the dry wit and humor and the matter of factisms and all this kind of stuff, go look up I'm Better Than You is on YouTube, or if you want to hear more of my bullshit fucking hang around for Forest of Exiles Rotten Tomatoes stream, because I'll be on that too.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why we got to get off air here. We got to let Exiled Opinions set their shit up. Thank you everybody for watching. Hey Toya, thank you for jumping in at the end. Check out Exiled Opinions stream. They're gonna do a drinking game with, I don't know what movie it is tonight. Do you know, Farty?
Oh, yeah, they told me last week. I can't remember off the top of my head. I was been meaning to go through last week's stream to find out, but I'll find out in a minute.
And always remember, we love you like a fat kid loves cake.
Absolutely. Good night. Good luck. And if you go to France, bring a yellow vest and a good fucking European Union flag to step on. We're out of here. Peace.
Robots, lick my ass.